Well, Los Angeles and Southern California has long been the hotbed for mixed martial arts, and it's the epicenter for a stacked UFC 289 weekend, and we got a great main event as we will see Alexander Volkanovski, the man, the myth, the legend, the 35-year-old undisputed featherweight champion takes on Ilia Topuria, and we are here to break it down. It's Extra Rounds live from the fan experience here in Orange County. Hey, everybody, I'm TJ DeSantis along with Jason Anik. Remember the name like you don't remember the name. It is Belal Muhammad. Gentlemen, it is the most feverish city, I think, in the world for mixed martial arts, and more gyms dedicated to training athletes in Southern California for mixed martial arts than anywhere else in this country. And, the UFC's back, and it's been, I think, since 2022, since they were in San Diego, and I think since 2021 or so since they were in this building.
Well, I like being back in the great state of California, especially off the heels of that weather in Toronto, but no sun here in Anaheim today. What's going on?
Bro, I'm like, are we in Chicago? It's freezing outside. I didn't even want to go for a jog outside. I went soft. I went jog on the treadmill.
I thought that marine layer was going to burn off. You're a Californian.
Yeah, so, thankfully it wasn't 2 weeks ago when we got 13 inches of rain. Because we did that in one weekend, and that was terrible. But, it doesn't matter. The UFC's here. The buzz is electric, and it could literally be Chicago weather, and I would be out here with the fans because there's nothing like a UFC fan experience.
Bro, it's been amazing. Look at the fan energy. The fans at the press conference, at the weigh-ins. Like John said, that the energy was electrifying, and I know tonight these fans are going to go crazy for the fights.
Yeah, so, mixed martial arts in California has a rich history. This building, historically significant for the UFC. The first time that the UFC ever set up the Octagon in the Golden State, it was in this building. We're going to hit some trivia back, kind of covering that. But, I honestly feel like there needs to be an event in Southern California at least once, if not twice a year, because the fan base is feverish here, and I think you can see that because, we're joking about the weather a little bit. This is actually frigid for Southern California. So
didn't they just announce something that they're going to have 3 events a year over here? I thought they just said it.
Yeah, between the WWE and UFC, TKO bringing a lot of shows here to this building in the Honda Center. So.
When's the last time the UFC's been in Sacramento or Northern California? I feel like that area is certainly ripe with MMA fans as well.
That's the thing. Like I say, the hotbed is here in Southern California, but it's all up and down the Golden State. But tonight, it's the Southern California fans that are treated to what did John say? A disgustingly good UFC card? I think he did, which it's fitting in a lot of ways. We're in this time now where all eyes are on UFC 300, and everybody has this anticipation for what that main event might be. But this card doesn't suffer at all from the UFC wanting to stack that 300 card in a month and some change. You know what I mean?
We got so much to talk about with this card, and even 299, which you skip over, which is stacked. And I still feel like 300 is maybe trying to catch 299 a little bit. So certainly may get some announcements tonight in terms of 300, but looking for this main card top to bottom, just dripping with talent.
If it's this cold in Miami, Bilal's not allowed to come to pay-per-views anymore because he's bringing the Chicago weather.
We got you.
All right, let's talk about our main event because it is a good one. As I mentioned, Alexander Volkanovski, one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. He is going to defend his title against Ilia Topuria. And when you look at Topuria, he's super confident. And that's the thing. You have to be incredibly confident in this game to go out there and exchange with someone the likes of Alexander Volkanovski. Now, looking at Volkanovski, the narrative here in this fight is he's 35 years old. He's coming off of a knockout loss. If there's ever a time for the wheels to fall off, a good chunk of this fan base is giving him the excuse to have the wheels fall off. That said, I think you're crazy if you think that anybody's going to have an easy fight or is even in a favorable matchup with someone like the great Alexander Volkanovski. So, to me, I think we're going to see an absolute war. I'm not disrespecting Topuria in any way, but this is the biggest, strongest, stiffest test of his career, and I think we're going to see him tested, and we're going to get a pretty good idea of what Volkanovski still has, in the tank.
I agree, and Topuria just turned 27 years old, and people want to talk a lot about I was going to say Bilal's age. My boy's about to be champion at 35 anyway.
Right.
So Volkanovski, 35 years old, but we know the MMA prime is later, so that age component really doesn't mean much to me.
Right.
I've been fascinated by the betting line on this fight, really from the get-go. To get Alexander Volkanovski at sort of a pick'em in a main event at 145, I'm still trying to wrap my hands around that. But in his last appearance against Islam, the love handles, the physical. You know, looking at Alexander Volkanovski physically, he just didn't look like himself to me. And I think you're going to see a whole different
But he's
cat.
not the greatest 155-pounder on the planet. He's the greatest 145-pounder on the planet.
And especially short notice too,
Right.
so different components.
10 days all the way in Abu Dhabi, and you're fighting the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world in Islam. And then people just forget that, and they don't look at how he beat Holloway, how he beat Yair, how he beat Korean Zombie. Like, he walked through all these 45-pounders, and there was never a moment at 45 where you look at him rocked or you look at him in a bad position. He's never had a fight like that at 45, and I think he's going to remind a lot of people tonight.
So let's talk about it. The narrative, again, is Alexander Volkanovski is 35 years old. We're going to start with buy or sell. I will start with you, Jason. When I look at this fight, Volkanovski's age and mileage, maybe it is a factor if he comes up short. Hindsight always is 20/20, but I guess going into this fight, should it be a concern? Do you buy that it should be a concern that Alexander Volkanovski is in a concerning point of his career?
I sell it. I sell it all day long. You know, Jack Hermanson last weekend, 35 years old, taking care of Joe Pyfer. You know, for me, I said it a minute ago, the age of the mixed martial artist, to me, that prime, it's not like an NFL running back where it's the early 20s. Doesn't concern me at all with Volkanovski, and also, too, the experience. I bring up Jack Hermanson, the experience of these fighters. I think oftentimes we're looking at this up-and-comer, we're looking at this young guys. I believe there's one statistic, welterweight or lower, I believe 35 years and older is 20-1, you know, the younger guy wins. I'm not buying it with Volkanovski. Doesn't have anything to do with how I feel about Topuria. We'll get to him. There's a lot to like about that cat, but in terms of Volk's age, by no means a concern for me.
Belal Muhammad, your thoughts? I mean, do you buy that, you know, age and mileage is a concern?
I'm selling it all day because Volk is one of the most intelligent fighters that we've seen ever in the octagon. His IQ, the way he trains, the way he comes into fights with a strategy. He doesn't just come into fights and, all right, let's both bang it out and see what happens. He fights every fight differently, and the little things that he does with his technique, how he adjusts, how he looks at something that you do well, and he goes to your weakness and he exploits that. I think he does that with all of his opponents. The only opponent he couldn't do that with was Islam. And like I said, Islam is the best fighter in the world. So I think tonight people are going to realize maybe age isn't a factor. We've seen Glover Teixeira win the belt at 42 years old. I don't think age has anything to do with it.
I'm going to half buy it, but not the way you think I'm going to. It shouldn't be a concern, but it's a factor here. And to me, it's a factor in a positive way because Alexander Volkanovski has embraced this idea that he's the old man. You know, he's wearing that, you know, beret, he's wearing glasses, he's walking around the house and picking fights with his neighbors. Like, I love it. And I think that he's owning it in a way where he can, you know, laugh at it. And that just tells me he's extremely comfortable, which no one should be comfortable with a guy like Ilia Topuria. Like, he's a danger, he's a threat. But Alexander Volkanovski is the greatest to ever do it at 145, and I like his swagger about all of this.
Dude, how about old Volk at the press conference, though? We're in Hollywood, right? And the actor, he was so committed the whole time.
Falling asleep in the presser.
Mouth open, even the little limps here and there. But when he sort of made that final walk up to sort of face off, right? He had a little old man limp, but then he got real serious real quick. And man, I have so much respect for this guy. He's faced everybody. And so for me, I just think it's another day. Topuria, and I know I said we get him, I do think presents an interesting challenge for Volk. But Volkanovski, man, he faced Holloway 3 times, Mendez, Aldo, everybody.
And he's embraced, like you said, he's embracing the old thing. So it's like, if it was really affecting him, maybe he'll be like, oh, I'm going to prove you guys wrong, I'm going to work extra hard or something. But the fact that he's joking around about it, it tells you how confident he is. It's one of those, when you look at his attitude, it's more so like, I'm going to remind you guys, I'm going to show you guys must have forgot. And I think he's going to do that tonight.
Yeah. Now let's talk about Ilia Topuria. He's a man who has earned this title fight in just, I think tonight's his 7th fight coming into the UFC, which is unheard of these days. You know, 20 years ago, you win 6 fights in a row, you're no-brainer for a title fight. Today, man, you got to win 6 fights before you can even get on a main card pay-per-view sometimes. And for Topuria, he finds himself opposite the best 45-pounder to ever do it. But if anybody is going to do it, it might be him. He has the right attitude. It's one of those things, there's a fine line between cockiness and confidence. Generally, that line is success. If you don't have success, they're going to call you cocky. If you do have success, they're going to call you confident. What that line is tonight, we're going to find out in our main event, but it is an exciting, intriguing matchup to say the least, Jason.
Well, and I all the shenanigans coming out of Ilia Topuria, I don't really mind any of it. You saw the moment when he got up close with Volkanovski saying, you know, I respect you as a person, I respect you as a fighter, I'm just trying to accomplish my dream. I love all of it. I'm not superstitious. Grab the belt, right? You know, you got different guys that have different philosophies when it comes to this. Justin Gaethje, his interim belt, wants to drop it on the ground. Dustin Poirier embraces his interim championship. So for me, Topuria trying to get his hands on the belt, grabbing it, whatever he's doing, I don't think it's going to impact the fight. I see this more as confidence. I do think there's some shtick here, but nothing wrong with that. Let's get Leon Edwards with a little shtick.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's one of those, he understands how to build. He understands, I think he has that superstar aura about him. When you have big names from Spain wanting to watch him, he has the whole country behind him. So he's embracing that. He has an entourage of like 30 guys with him everywhere he goes. I'm watching them all co-wait. But it shows you that you had the right people supporting you. When you have that support around you, it makes you want to work that much harder. And I think he understands that he's not going to go in there and just walk through him. He understands it's going to be a battle, it's going to be a war. But the way he beat Josh Emmett with his boxing, fearlessness, standing in the pocket with a guy like Emmett, I'm like, this guy has it. And people forget that one of his strongest attributes is his grappling. When he first started fighting, he was a grappler, he was a submission artist. But now he's showing you guys his hands, and he's showing he has it all.
You want to talk about confidence, too. I think looking back at the scorecards of the Emmett fight, one of the judges turned in a 50-42 card. Like, what are you talking about? Like, the controller's not plugged in the video game if you're coming up 50-42. You know what I mean? So, pretty crazy stuff. And, you know, looking at Topuria, first off, you know, superstition. I want to ask you, obviously, Belal Muhammad, #1 contender over here. We'll call him that on this show, 100%. Are you superstitious?
I'm superstitious in certain ways, right? Like when I first started fighting, I used to have these green shorts that my coach, Lewis Taylor, gave me before one fight. Because I was going to fight with basketball shorts. And he's like, here, use these shorts. And he's like a size extra large. So like they were sagging when I first started fighting. So I had some big shorts, and then I was like, oh, I won the fight, so I'm going to keep wearing them every fight after that. But when I got to the UFC, I cut that off. I was like, all right, I can't wear the green shorts anymore. We're wearing the UFC brand. And the superstition didn't mean anything to me. But for my first 9 fights, I was wearing extra large shorts. They were sagging. My family's making it fun of me. Like, why are you wearing these cheap shorts for? I'm like, they're making me win. They're making me win.
But you know, the superstitious thing, right? It's like you have a lot of professional athletes that, whether it's the Super Bowl or the NBA championship, where I know in the NBA, the trophy's in the room, and you can sort of go in and either get your picture taken or not. But if I'm Topuria, it's like, I'm manifesting this. That's mine. I want to get my hands on it now. I'm visualizing this at the end of the night. And for me, this kid, he's got nothing to lose. You're fighting one of the all-time greats. You just turned 27. Even if you get starched round 1, you're going to be back.
Yeah, I mean, not that you ever want to lose, but if you're going to lose to somebody, it'd be an honor to have your O taken by one of the greatest to ever do it. You're going to come out the other side better for having the experience. You're absolutely right. He has absolutely nothing to lose, and that's what makes him so dangerous. I do sometimes buy into weird superstitious things. I almost said that we were going to see Juliana Pena upset Amanda Nunes at UFC 269 because it ended with 69. UFC 69 was an event where Matt Serra beat George St. Pierre, so there's the number similarities. Okay. I found a narrative that might support Ilia Topuria walking out the champion tonight.
What's that?
He debuted on October 10th. Let me actually pull it up here so I have my facts straight. October 10th, 2020, on that same card, debuting on the same night, a man named Dricus du Plessis, who is now a champion. Last pay-per-view. Now it's Topuria's turn. They both debut on the same card, so you know maybe there's something in the air. I don't know.
You got me thinking about it now. I'm like, all right, wait a minute. There's a chance.
There's a sucker born every minute.
Well, you know what? A lot of these fighters, I have so much respect for all these guys, but I really do root for greatness, and really across a lot of sports. So seeing Volkanovski, if tonight sort of is the end, and certainly he's talked about competing at 55 and still desiring to be a double champ. But you do get to know some of these guys, right? I've never met Ilia Topuria. I've gotten to know Volk, so there is a little bit of a relationship there. So for me, I'd be lying to tell you I'm not rooting for Volk to get it done tonight.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, when you look at a guy like Topuria and the new day and age we are in now, where people look at these cocky guys like, oh, look, I hate this guy because he's cocky, or I like this guy because he's cocky. Topuria, I think, you know, he understands what draws people, right? He understands what's going to get people wanting to watch him. They're either going to want to watch you win or watch you lose. There's a lot of people right now that love Volk because he is just so nonchalant with everything. He never faked anything. He was always just his same self. And I think his humbleness got me to like him. Toporia's cockiness got me to be like, I'm going for Volk because of it.
Yeah, no, 100%. And also, too, looking at the bio on Alexander Volkanovski, I know there is the narrative that he, just got stopped in his last fight. He's only been stopped twice in his entire career. So it's not like there's miles on him that are begging to, sort of start the talk about when we lead him out to pasture. Like, he got stopped by the greatest 55-pounder in the world. He got stopped by a guy who's arguably #1 pound for pound. I don't think there's anything really you can glean from that loss and the way that it happened. And you mentioned 10 days notice. Like, we fall in love too much, I think, Belal, with the idea that the method of defeat speaks larger to the fighter's overall trajectory, when sometimes I think we just need to let it go.
Yeah, and people just forget how easy it is to get finished in this sport. We're fighting with 4-ounce gloves. That was shin to skull. It's one wrong move, and your night could be over. And the greatest, we've seen all the greatest fighters in the world lose early. GSP lost to Matt Serra, and you're like, well, nobody ever said, hey, GSP done after this. It's like, just because he lost to Islam at a weight class above, 10 days notice, now we're all like, wait, he's over with. Like, where did that narrative even start with?
Yeah.
Look back, same last year where he dominated Yair Rodriguez, who was on a great roll before then. And he did it without a scar on him, a scratch on him, man. Just because he tried to go for something that no other champion would have did. Nobody would have went to Abu Dhabi on 10 days notice. He tried to go for that, and then, he failed. Now we're thinking that he's done with.
Right.
Yeah, and that $5 million or whatever it is probably feels nice for showing up there.
Bank counts all right.
So for you, right, when you break this down, where do you see an advantage, perhaps? If Ilia Topuria, if we're going to be saying and new tonight, where do you see him winning this fight?
For Topuria, you can't let Volk's little tricks mess with your mind. You can't get emotional in there. Because, Topuria, even in the Emmett fight where he was rocking him a little bit, there was a lot of times in that first round where he was throwing big punches and he overextended or he missed. And he got hit with a couple of things. With Volk, you don't want to play that game with him because he's so good at feinting. He's so good at bringing it out of you. And if Topuria starts getting, annoyed or wanting to get, overzealous, I think that leaves openings for Volk to come out. When Volk starts switching stances on you as well, when Volk pushes you against the fence and holding you there, or even starts talking to you like we've seen him against Islam, you can't let your emotions play a part in it. For a guy like, Topuria, who has the world, Spain, a whole country behind him, everybody telling you you're going to be the next biggest thing, that's a lot of pressure on your back right now. So I don't know if he's going to come in there with that. I got to make a statement with a huge win. I got to finish Volk, and I got to do it early. I think he just has to be calm. He has to be patient for the first couple rounds, because I know Volk's going to be patient for the first couple rounds.
We are scheduled 5-minute rounds tonight for the undisputed UFC Featherweight Championship of the World when Alexander Volkanovski defends against Ilia Topuria. This is Extra Rounds. I'm TJ DeSantis along with Jason Anik, Belal Muhammad. We are live at the UFC Fan Experience right outside the Honda Center here in Anaheim. And, of course, we are brought to you today by our friends over at DraftKings Sportsbook. And let's take a look at the odds for our main card, rather, because I think that the odds always tell a story, and here the story is, Volkanovski is still favored, but a lot of people have put some money on Topuria. Jason, your thoughts on what this line says as far as the public support for Volkanovski and, in turn, Topuria?
Well, it being a pick'em, and this line has fascinated me, like I've said, but, I have to think that the performance against Islam on short notice and the age, right, which are not factors for me, but I can't think of any reason why, other than those two things, that this could have crept as close as it did. Certainly, Topuria is getting respect in Vegas. I always say that the handicappers out in Vegas know more than me, you can be sure. And frankly, for me, this scares me, right? This line being as close as it is, I feel as though it's there for a reason. And so for me, I think it makes sense. I'm surprised by it, but the guys in Vegas know more than me.
I think the guys in Vegas know when it comes to other sports, like the Super Bowl, they're close within 3 points. But when it comes to fighters, I think Volk's one of those guys, he brings something in different every fight. They don't know what's going on behind the scenes. They don't know what you're doing in the workout room and stuff like that, what your coaches are thinking, the game planning. I think Volk's going to prove a lot of these guys wrong. I think for fighters, the Vegas will look at your last fight, right? And they're like, oh, well, he lost. He got knocked out. So, yeah, you know, he lost a step. But your team, your coaches, you know what you really have inside of your head. And I think that's what separates Volk from a lot of these guys. He's going to come in here with a strategy. He's not going to come in here with, yo, let's play chess. Let's play checkers. Volk plays chess every single fight.
Right.
And I think for a guy like Topuria, who's never really fought a guy like him, right? Emmett, he boxed and he didn't adjust. He didn't go for any takedowns. He fought him the same way every single time. Volk's gonna come in with, all right, well, if striking doesn't work, I'm gonna grapple. If grappling doesn't work, I'm gonna strike. If that doesn't work, I'm gonna just play the pushing you to the fence game. Volk has a million adjustments that he can make inside the cage during the fight night, and I don't think Topuria's faced anybody that does that.
Yeah, let's talk about our co-main event, because another similar situation. Robert Whittaker, he's back in action. We last saw him against Dricus du Plessis in a fight that took a lot of people by storm, in the sense that Whittaker was stopped in a fashion that not a lot of his supporters necessarily thought it would go down that quickly. We see the return of Bobby Knuckles, and you know, for my money, Robert Whittaker is always must-see TV. He's one of my favorite fighters to watch, all action. But, you know, I do worry sometimes when you have miles like Whittaker does. Whittaker has miles that Alexander Volkanovski doesn't have. We've seen him in some wars, and we just obviously saw him get stopped by DDP. Jason, your thoughts on Whittaker's return, and, you know, what is a fair sort of expectation from him tonight in our co-main event?
Well, this co-main event, I'm not going to believe it's going to happen until they walk. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like the weigh-ins didn't happen. The idea that we're going to actually get Paulo Costa, Robert Whittaker, has me jumping out of my skin. Robert Whittaker, like you said, is so difficult to root against. He had a lot of moments in that du Plessis fight. We watched it back recently, surprising me a little bit, and then certainly just got stung. But I think Paulo Costa is very much a matchup very similar to the du Plessis matchup, and that does scare me a little bit for Robert Whittaker. The miles do scare me as well. But for me, right, with a guy like Robert Whittaker, I thought he would beat du Plessis. That surprised me greatly. I'm going to give the guy another shot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I feel as though there's one more opportunity here for Robert Whittaker to get back on that right track, and I love him in this division. And he alluded to the fact that this division is in a nice space right now. Really a lot of moving parts, wide open in a lot of ways. So I would love to see Whittaker be able to sort of get through this, because I don't necessarily see Paulo Costa on that same championship trajectory, or maybe getting in that championship spot as quickly.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I didn't even really think about Whittaker, the fights that he's had to gone through, the wars he had with Yoel Romero, who hits like a truck. And, you know, he was always that guy that was second best in the division. So when you're second best in the division, behind Adesanya, you're always fighting the next best guy.
Right.
He was always having the toughest fights.
Yeah.
So when you're thinking about with him, it's more so the wars and the mileage that was put on him. And I don't think he's younger than Volkanovski, right?
I'd have to,
yeah, I think he's 33.
Yeah, 33.
In fight years, I feel like he's older just because of the wars
he's 40
in
fight years. You know, no disrespect by that, but I mean that's the sort of you know, sacrifice that he's willing to make in a fight. He's willing to take some to give some, and we'll see if he does that. He's got a very tough Paulo Costa in front of him tonight. But you know, looking back at that DDP loss, you mentioned that it wasn't as bad as maybe some people remember. Hindsight is always 20/20. The result sometimes erases a lot of the previous work put in. So you can definitely find some nuggets in there where you can, be proud if you're a Robert Whittaker fan. That said, du Plessis is a champion now. I kind of feel like we have to have some more grace with that loss to Whittaker, because dude, he lost to the current champion.
Yes, certainly you talk about losses aging well. Most certainly it did. That's a very good point. And certainly if he flips the script tonight and emerges victorious, you're looking pretty good with that.
Yeah,
good
absolutely.
Point.
So Paulo Costa, man, he's a guy, too, that I love watching. You mentioned, Jason, just to sort of hold your breath and make sure everything can come to fruition that these guys actually fight. Wasn't it Whittaker that ended up having a hernia the day of one of those Romero fights, something like that?
Yeah, it sounds right. But that Paulo Costa, I think he has eight UFC fights and 7 cancellations. He's had 11 fights canceled in his career, so it almost just never feels, even when he's on the schedule, it doesn't feel like he's really fighting. I can't wait.
Yeah, but sometimes that can be better for you, for Costa, who has a style where he's always in front of you, and he will be in wars, but taking those 2 years off, maybe he's gotten better in those. Maybe his brain has rested a lot in those, because his style, he's not going to sit there and play back. He's in your face. Right. He's moving forward the whole time. And I think with this type of fight, you're going against a guy like Whittaker, who has kind of that karate style. I want to see what kind of game plan Whittaker comes out with. Is he going to come attacking Costa's leg right away? Or is Costa going to get in his face, put him on the fence, and throw those bombs? Because Costa throws bombs every time he lets his hands go.
Well, you know, and I say to be facing a guy like Whitaker coming off a loss, right? It's like this is the last time I'd want to catch Whitaker right now. He looked absolutely shredded. I'm sure mentally he's in as good a spot. I mean, who's facing Joe Pyfer next? Who wants to face Joe Pyfer next, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's like you wake a sleeping giant, even if they're dangerous all the time. It's just you never want a fighter extra motivated standing in front of you on the biggest night of their career, because on fight night, it's the biggest fight of their career. And when you've had some harder times, you're more motivated than ever to keep the job, stay employed.
So I don't mean to put you on the spot here, but I know we're not necessarily show where we're making picks. I just want to make sure before we get off this set that I know which way my boy Bully B's leaning in the main and the co-main.
Let's go, Belal. What do you got?
I mean, for the co-main, rewatching Costa's fights, he's been in wars, even with Yoel Romero. He's so tough. And it makes me go back to the Adesanya fight, right, where he didn't look the same. He didn't look like he was himself. So it makes it, was he really drinking wine the day before? I started to believe it, especially when you see his personality now, because he's always had that style in every single one of his fights where I'm standing in front of you throwing bombs.
Yeah.
And we saw Strickland, who stood in front of Adesanya, and it made him uncomfortable. So now that I think if Costa had a rematch with Adesanya, he'll do well, and it'll be different. With this type of fight against Whitaker, he's so good with his movement. He has a karate style. He's got that oblique kick that will hurt your knees for a guy like Costa who just moves forward. But I think Costa's going to figure it out. I think he's going to end up catching him. I do think that the miles on Whitaker are going to play a part in this game. I think his chin, and he's going to be a little bit chinny after that last fight. And I love Whitaker, but I'm picking Costa here. I like the guy.
You know,
it's
on this main card. It's interesting, and we'll get to the main event. But there are a few. I think it's Merab, Ian Gary, and Bob Whitaker, all about -200 to -250. And I keep saying to myself, they ain't all winning. One of these guys who's a 2-to-1, 3-to-1 favorite, it always goes that way. So I do feel like there's some people leaning Costa. Be interesting. You know, in terms of me picking this fight, you broke that down very well. I believe that Robert Whitaker, I wonder how many times he's watched back that Duplessis fight to see where, sort of where he erred. I just feel as though Robert Whitaker is going to find a way to get back on the right track. Yeah,
we'll find out. I tend to lean a little bit with Belal. But I would love to see Robert Whitaker be in vintage form and put all of those concerns to rest. We'll see if that's the case tonight in our co-main event. You wanted to get Bully's pick on the main event.
So I'm going to just say right now, in terms of the main event, I'm not in the business of picking these fights, right? But for me, I'm a little scared for my boy Volk. I'll leave it at that. I'm just a little scared. This betting line being where it's at, maybe that's influencing me too much. Certainly not a technical analysis. Belal, who you got?
I mean, I'm going with my man Volk. I think people last week when they saw with the Joe Pyfer, he had a lot of hype. And then, Hermanson showed experience where the first round he was like, all right, well, throw all you want at me, and I'm going to play smart. And when it gets later onto the third, fourth, and fifth round, I'm going to show you what experience really plays a part in. This fight right here, Volk's been in so many title fights. He's been in some of the biggest fights in the UFC. So he's been here before. Topuria, he has so much pressure on him right now. He has the country behind him. He has his 50 entourage that are behind him that he's looking at. All the talk that he's talking, he has to back that up now. His Instagram, he has to back it up now. I think he's going to come out a little overzealous, and I think Volk's going to exploit those little openings that he leaves. And Volk's game planning is just so good. His switching stances, his feigning, his hands, everything. It's going to draw out Topuria's big strikes, and it's going to leave openings for Volk to catch him with either counters or even takedowns.
Great stuff. Does the betting line surprise you a little bit?
It does. I mean, I thought Volk deserves more respect than this. I think that Volk should be at least 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 to win this fight, especially at 45. He looked great on the scales. He looked great at the press conference. He looked great all week with the interviews, and it doesn't seem like he's lost any confidence since that last fight.
Looking at this fight, I agree with you. I think we're going to see Alexander Volkanovski get his hand raised. But it is truly a no-lose situation for Topuria. As long as he doesn't get starched in a way that he questions himself and completely changes his mindset for the negative, which I don't think would do even if he does, end up getting out of there quick the wrong way. But I feel like you can't go out there and have this experience with someone like Alexander Volkanovski and not be better for it. And I mean, look at this building. This is going to be a building that is going to be jam-packed to the rafters. They're going to blow the roof off. I mentioned it's a hotbed for mixed martial arts in this country. And when you make that walk in a main event spotlight in the UFC against a pound-for-pound great, the greatest to ever do it at 45. Win, lose, or draw, you're going to come out better for it. And, I mean, I'll say it. I don't think he gets it done tonight, but Topuria is a guy who wears this belt. He will be a champion before his career is done.
I agree. Oh, we got a little sun coming out now in Southern California. That's what I'm talking about.
It's heating up, just like the action's going to be heating up here in a little while. If you are in the area and you're at home right now, what are you doing? Come on out. Fan experience going down here at the Honda Center. Let's talk a little bit more about some of the matches here on this main card. A lightning rod for just a variety of weird storylines is Ian Machado Gary. He takes on Jeff Neal. And, you know, Gary does do some of this stuff, if not all of it, to himself in a roundabout way. We all know about the T-shirt that he wore with Jeff Neal. These guys were supposed to meet last August in Boston. They meet tonight. You know, how much of this, Jason, do you feel is just simply the fact that he's an Irish fighter we all love and even love to hate at times, Conor McGregor, and Ian Gary is the next of the Irish invasion? Maybe fair, maybe unfair, but I feel like a lot of this and a lot of the antics and a lot of things that get talked about with Ian Gary are simply just because he's an exciting Irish fighter and people want to carry on that narrative.
I agree, and I said on our show, remember the show, to Belal at one point before we were recording one night, like it was whether it was the Ian Gary and his wife, some of that, I said, I don't even know what's going on. I'm not even paying attention to this stuff. You know, for me, this kid is so smart. He's so articulate. I found it very interesting, some of the things he's doing, bouncing around from camp to camp, trying to learn. And to me, there are a lot of these guys that it's not just about the star power, but it's about sort of the whole package, the mental game, the physical game. This matchup intrigues me greatly. I'm very interested in what Belal has to say about it. But I think Ian Gary's playing with house money. I don't think he's going to sleep at night too concerned with all this noise. And I do think it all sort of builds, and it all builds the brand, and it all is going to continue to help him as his career goes on. Still, what, 26?
Yeah. You know, my pal Bruce Buffer always says, any publicity is good publicity as long as you spell the name correctly. And, you know, Gary can be tricky. There's 2 R's in there.
And another last name, right?
Exactly. Belal, do you think the public perception has any sort of impact on Ian Gary?
I mean, I think when you start bringing his family into it, right, when you start talking about his wife and kids, I think the last fight would have played a factor, right? Because it was fight week and you know he was going to get all those questions. And you had Sean Strickland that would have been at the press conference, Kobe that would have been at the press conference, and they would have been talking about it. This fight with a guy like Jeff Neal, where he said he's not going to go that low, right? There's not really back and forth. He wore the mugshot the last time, but even Jeff said, I'm not going to wear a shirt with Ian Gary on or his wife. It's like, I'm not going to play that game. Both guys are going to come to fight. And I've seen both of them at the hotel. They both look great. Their energy looks great. Jeff, who missed weight his last fight against Shaka by 5 pounds, he looked great. Yep. I've seen him when he was cutting weight with Coach Saif Saud, and you know they say he knows how close he is to being up there in the upper echelon, right? And how big this fight is for him against a guy like Gary, who's looking at him like, I'm going to walk through you, then I'm going to fight Kobe Covington. You don't want to look past Jeff Neal.
Dude, I'm with you. I think that's a great point you made. And I think that T-shirt thing and not having to fight, he probably learned from that, right? And he's made a point that I know that you can relate to. When he's in these fight communities around these fans, there's no one coming up to him talking mess. Everyone's giving him the love. And, you know, whether it's Aljamain Sterling or Belal Muhammad or certain fighters that, whatever your perception may be, you feel the love out of 99 out of 100 people.
Yeah, there's no Tom 5678543 who like Twitter trolls you that's gonna come up to you in person and say it, right? Like these are real people. When I see your face, and you're like the nicest people in the world. But that's the social media world. Like we get used to it, we understand it. I don't think it really affected Gary until he cut off the comments to his thing. And I was like, well, maybe it is starting to play a role in it. But I think that was just because of his wife and kids. And I wouldn't want my wife or kids, having somebody say the worst things to it, because that's the social media world we live in now, where they'll say the dumbest stuff to you.
Yeah, every fighter is different in how the fan response affects them. I remember a guy, former UFC champion, Sean Shirk, he had issues with people booing him. In the arena, especially when he fought BJ Penn, the arena was going after him. But then he'd go back to the fighter hotel, and he's got 99,000 fans at the fighter hotel that wants a photo and, to shake his hand. And he would actually snap at some of those fans and be like, were you booing me 45 minutes ago? Because where were you?
Right.
I didn't hear you. No one was cheering for me. Now you're my best friend.
Right.
But I think that, it is something that Ian Gary knows exactly what he's getting himself into. You know, whether or not you support him sort of maybe being inspired by Conor McGregor, he's going down a similar route. He's trying to, you mentioned he's 23 years old, something like that?
No, I think 26.
26. No, but my point is this, is like, he's still so young and finding himself in a public spotlight that is incredibly difficult to do. No one understands what some of these guys have to go through, and then to, you know, suffer the consequences, good or bad, moving forward. It's kind of crazy to deal with.
Well, you know, and I think he's very well equipped to deal with it. And a lot of these guys, whether it's Bo Nickel, some of these guys that are sort of taking, even Joe Pyfer, I really thought until losing, but they're really sort of taking the right fights. For me, I'm dying to know your breakdown on this fight. I feel as though we talked about this in the past. Certainly Jeff Neal has been through a lot of health issues where you really don't know what you're going to get a lot of the time when this guy shows up. You've been in there with him before. Obviously, Ian Gary is very elusive and quick, and I think, however, I think Neal has like a reach advantage. So who do you got? Who do you like? Your division, talk to me.
Yeah, this is one of those fights, right? Because what Jeff are you going to get? We've seen Jeff go in there and, you know, look terrible against Neil Magny. And we've seen him go in there with Shavkat, and it looked great. He went toe-to-toe with him all the way until that last round, and it was a close fight until then. And, you know, people looked at Shavkat like he was the boogeyman, but I think Jeff, he's just so tough. And his striking is a southpaw. He comes out with hard punches. His footwork looked very good against a guy like Luque, where he dominated him and finished him worse than anybody's ever beaten him. Ian Gary, he has that confidence about him, that undefeated aura about him, where he thinks that nobody's going to touch him, nobody's going to hurt him. But we've seen him get hurt in the UFC. We've seen him get dropped. I think his last couple fights, they were perfect matches for him. Neil Magny just walked out there and took the leg kicks, and he couldn't walk for the rest of the fight. And I think that type of fight hurts Ian Gary, because this is a big step up in competition for Neil Magny. Even though Neil Magny beat Jeff Neal, I think it's a huge step up in competition. And Jeff Neal is going to be in your face all night. He's going to throw big bombs at you all night. He's going to hurt you. And you have to play the grappling game. You have to try to mix it up. And I don't think Ian Gary's going to do that. We've seen Jeff go against a taller guy, lankier guy like Wonder Boy, but Wonder Boy's striking and his side kicks, it's a lot different than Ian Gary. Ian Gary sets you up with low kicks, high kicks, but you have to stand there and do nothing. I think Jeff's going to be ready for that. Jeff's going to be in his face, and I think it's going to be a war. I think it'll go down to second or third round, but I think I got Jeff Neal winning this decision.
You know, and it's a I can't wait for this fight. I think it's going to be a crazy fight. You talk about the fight with Wonder Boy. That was Jeff Neal's first fight since his system is septic, and it's a 5-round main event. So I don't know. I think for Jeff Neal, a lot will be clear to me when I sort of see how they're sort of moving in the octagon and see if he really can close that distance against, when Ian Gary got caught by Song Kanan, he took it, I mean, and did show a chin there. And a lot of NFL quarterbacks say, to sort of get in the game, they like taking a hit early and sort of making sure the chin is there. So I can't wait for this one, but this is one of those, right, where Ian Gary, it's not that close on paper,
Yeah, I mean, we're going to know how good you really are, right? You're hyping yourself up. You're calling out Kobe next. You're calling out Sean Strickland after that. It's like, whoa, don't forget about who you got in front of you right now. And biggest thing for me with Jeff Neal was I want to see him on the scale. I want to see him make weight, and I want to see how he looked. And he looked great to me. He looked like he worked hard this whole camp.
Yeah, let's take a look at those odds, courtesy of DraftKings Sportsbook for this welterweight fight. Ian Machado Gary, you mentioned, is the favorite, minus 238. Jeff Neal, the comeback on him, plus 195. And, it's number 8 ranked Jeff Neal taking on the number 10 ranked Ian Machado Gary. And, I mean, I think that says a lot about this fight. High stakes between two very accomplished athletes, and one is nicknamed the Future. We will see if the immediate future is fruitful for him tonight in Anaheim. All right, I think I see Craig Jones over there. I think he's going to stop by here. We're going to talk on March 3rd. Brother John, who made one gi class and then was like, nope, I'm done.
No, you probably would get more commitment out of me. I mean, I've said it before on this program. He didn't like being in someone's guard. And it was like a mental game. I think it was the mental game where he couldn't remember different steps along the process of that jiu-jitsu on the ground. You like that jiu-jitsu stuff?
Yeah, I do a little bit of jiu-jitsu.
Well, a man to your right does a whole bunch of jiu-jitsu. It is Rafael Lovato. Sir, how are you?
I'm great. How are you guys doing?
Good, man. What's going on?
Enjoying this nice weather.
I mean,
it's a little colder where I live.
It just got nice, to be honest with you. Like,
I'm sure it's still been nicer than what it is in Oklahoma.
That's true.
Yeah, we get some good days, but it's also still winter there. So.
Oh, it's still winter there right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, Oklahoma's one of those weird ones. You can have like 80-degree weather these days, and then it'll like get down to like 22.
Yeah, it'll drop 50 degrees in one day. You can get all 4 seasons in one day for sure.
Yeah. So the action going to be heating up here tonight, but again, March 3rd, you got a big UFC Fight Pass Invitational. You find yourself on the mat with Craig Jones. You know, the jiu-jitsu world is a little bit interesting in trying to find how many times people have competed against one another. There's not like an established fight finder. BJJ Heroes does a good job, but it's not as easy to find a lot of records in BJJ. Have you ever been scheduled to fight, Craig?
Not officially scheduled, no. But there have been several events that have contacted us and tried to set this match up. It's kind of been something that people have been wanting to see for quite some time. And I'm pretty happy that it's worked out the way it did, to where it's going to officially go down on the biggest stage there is. So, yeah, it's perfect timing. It's going to be a great match, and I'm really looking forward to it.
You are no stranger to big stages in combat sports, former world champion in mixed martial arts. You're a veteran of the first ever UFC Fight Pass Invitational. What do you think that platform and this format and stage is doing for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu?
Man, just more exposure. I mean, no one has more eyes than the UFC, and getting them into the grappling game and, you know, bringing that name, you know, to jiu-jitsu is just creating so many great opportunities for everybody, getting their name out there. They've been consistent, running great shows with really amazing cards. Like, I mean, this card coming up, any one of these matches would be a main event on any other show, you know. So you're basically getting like 5 or 6 main events and matches that you've never seen. And yeah, I mean, they're doing a great job, and it's amazing to see how far it's come, and to still be here and be a part of it and go against all these young guys and just keep battling and doing what I love.
I was just going to ask you, how exciting is it for you to have this, secondary career in jiu-jitsu? Because I think we're entering a time now, and Craig is definitely one of these guys, where we have bona fide stars in grappling that can make money and support themselves and their families by doing jiu-jitsu. For the longest time, this has been a sport where you can exclusively pay to compete, not get paid. Yeah. You got to put down money to even get in the tournament. Obviously, that's not the case with the Fight Pass Invitational, changing the narrative and sort of idea of what a professional grappler can be. That's going to be exciting for you.
Yeah, it is for sure. I mean, I came up in that time. My credit card debt was pretty substantial when I was a kid. Dropped out of college, moved to Brazil, went all in on jiu-jitsu back in a time where there was no no hope really. It was like just got to do what I love and follow my heart. There was no potential for knowing, oh yeah, at some point I'm going to be good. And I'm super grateful that I came up in that time for sure, and got to see the growth and the evolution, and just so many beautiful memories. But yeah, like I gave my 20s to jiu-jitsu and trying to make history in the sport. And then I entered my 30s, and I said, okay, it's time to do MMA. As a martial artist, I know I need to take that challenge on. And had a good MMA run, and life happened the way it did, to where some health conditions just kept me from continuing to keep fighting. And then I kind of looked back at where jiu-jitsu was at, and I said, man, there's a lot of guys out there I haven't faced. I'm still hungry, still feel good, and now all these opportunities are coming. And so yeah, it's kind of like almost a third run now, and just doing all these big shows and all these super fight matches, and now it's like, it's not about titles or proving myself or anything anymore. It's just the challenge and doing what I love, and kind of reaping the benefits of where we're at these days. And it's pretty awesome. I'm really, really grateful. Yeah,
big stakes match for Lovato as he takes on Craig Jones, coming up here March 3rd, all part of the UFC Fight Pass Invitational 6. It goes down in Las Vegas. You obviously have that MMA experience, Rafael. I'm curious, like, what does a BJJ fight camp look like? Is there a fight camp, or is it just you training and doing normal rolling and things?
I think I've been in a fight camp for like the last 25 years. For me, I love training. I love just trying to get better every day, So I basically had the same routine year in, year out. When I was doing MMA, of course, I didn't compete as much in jiu-jitsu and grappling. Obviously, I kind of moved that to the side. And I had a little bit more of the fight camp life. But outside of that, I mean, I'm going to be on the mats. I'm going to be in the gym every day, trying to take care of my body, teaching, training, helping my students, helping all our, young up-and-coming world champions get ready for their stuff. And of course, I can't compete quite as often as I used to. I am in my 40s now, so the body feels it a little more. But I mean, really nothing changes. I mean, camp-wise, the only thing that really changes is like, okay, now I have a specific opponent, a game I'm preparing for, and whatever the format is of the match, if it's sub-only or if there's a time limit, I can start catering my rounds towards what I'm going to be competing in. But you're going to see me on the mats every day, no matter what. You know what I mean? It's my passion.
Looking at Craig Jones, he's part of this new generation of grapplers. Was on that first generation of the Danaher Death Squad. Really has come to this one of the top spots, if not the top spot, as far as fan engagement and being this poster child. Looking at Craig, how different is he compared to the jiu-jitsu players of 15, 20 years ago?
Oh, completely different. I mean, he's different than everyone even today.
Right.
He's a very unique challenge. He has just a lot of weird moves, to be honest. Like, things you don't expect people to do. He can do it. And he can do it very well. He's dangerous at all times. Pretty complete, good everywhere, and. Yeah, I mean, it's been fun already this last month, like getting ready for him and kind of studying his game, and I actually feel like I've improved a lot during this camp, and yeah, it's exciting. This is definitely the kind of matches I look forward to. A lot of the young guys, I mean, they're always a challenge. But sometimes I can look at their jiu-jitsu and say, you know what, I completely know what to expect from this person, or I feel like they're really only good in one or two areas. Craig's pretty good everywhere, and there's no one else like him, and so it's been fun. I'm really excited for this test.
Yeah, it's going to be a phenomenal match. It is your main event of the UFC Fight Pass Invitational 6, March 3rd, Las Vegas. Rafael Lovato, appreciate your time. So we're going to square you off with Craig here in a little while and get you back up here. So.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. There he is, Rafael Lovato. Stopping by here at the UFC Fan Experience as we are outside the Honda Center as we're getting ready for the UFC tonight, 298. And, man, they're starting to file in. You see, the sun comes out in California, and everyone scurries like, oh, we can go outside now.
Yeah, it's bright. I was like, man, I should put my shades back on right now. The fans are starting to come out. The energy's starting to pick up, and tell me fight night's coming.
Dude, the shades, that's your look, too, right? We've seen you in the arena, right?
Yeah, this is one thing, too, that you don't really get in combat sports, like the idea of like a tailgating environment. Like, there's nobody barbecuing out here, but I wish they were.
Oh, man, right? That would be perfect right now. I smell something. But we're in California. Maybe it's something else.
Yeah, but you're not really eating much. You don't really eat much. This guy's like no dessert, right? It's just like, he's not even in camp. We don't even have a date, right? But he's not going to, no dessert last night. Do you have a bite of dessert?
We had some salad, so we're good.
Could we maybe have a date later tonight? Maybe?
Hopefully. We got to find Dana out here, so get him over here and give him an interview. Well, even though he stopped doing podcasts, right?
Oh, my goodness. What was that?
That was the funniest thing. I want to see if that was real.
I don't know what that was. I mean, I watched that clip like 3 times trying to figure out some hidden message and all of that. I don't know what happened.
I tell you what, I don't know either. But so Volk, right? If they talk about Volkanovski, or even he talks about being, an opportunity if he comes out of this unscathed to fight at 300. But you mentioned to me, like, what's that matchup look like? Like, who would he fight?
And I tell people too, right? So if Volk didn't already walk through everybody else, would Topuria be getting this title shot right now? Or would it be like another match with Holloway? If he didn't fight Holloway 3 times, would it be Holloway?
Yeah.
Like, is Topuria really that deserving beating a guy like Emmett? Or is it because Volk dominated everybody else already? There's nobody else for him. So he says, I want to do a quick turn. And I'm like, bro, are you going to go back to 55 at 300? Like,
Right.
I don't see nobody else out there except Evilov is right there, too, as well. So don't want to forget about Evilov, but, like, there's really nobody else besides him.
Well, and I think he would probably be next up, but is that your UFC
Your quick
300
turnaround.
main event?
Exactly.
I don't know.
50-42 to Poirier. God, Josh Emmett out of there on one of the scorecards. I can't get over that. I mean, you might deserve a title fight no matter what if you can do that to another human being. So we're going to see what happens. Again, that's our main event. Craig Jones, he's playing with his phone right now. I'm hoping he'll come over here. He's popular. He's busy.
Look
I
at
like
over
his
there. I like
outfit.
the pink.
Come over here. How are you? Come on.
Over here at the Bud Light area.
We're just talking about your fighter.
Is this Bud Light striking challenge. I think you just broke the score, bro.
What's up, bro?
What's going on, guys?
How's it going?
Pretty good. Pretty relaxing day.
Yeah?
Got any coaching gigs or anything you're doing later on today? Or
Any what?
coaching gigs?
Culture
Yeah, you
gigs.
going to sit in the corner
You gonna be in
tonight?
the corner tonight?
Oh, yeah, ride the coattails tonight. That's about it.
How do you handle that? Because I know some athletes really don't like being in the corner because at times you can feel helpless. It's like playing a video game and you don't have the controller.
I mean, it sucks, but when I look at the guy in there, I'm like, it's better him than me, you know? I'd rather be on the outside spectating.
I mean, you got a good guy to back. I mean, the greatest 145-pounder in the world going to war. What are your thoughts on the narratives that have been circling this fight and people asking questions about, does Volk still have it? Like, is that ridiculous in your mind?
I mean, yeah, I think it's pretty weird. I think that last fight against Islam, I think full camp would have been more competitive, would have been similar. I think a similar vibe to the first one. So I think people talk about that 35-year-old curse as well. So, I mean, I don't fucking know what that even means, you know, but as far as I'm concerned, Volk's a great grappler. He's hard for me to submit, so anyone else that can go out there and do it, more power to him.
When you guys are grappling, is you letting him throw punches at you, ground and pound, or you're like, nah, no punches?
Nah, no way. Yeah.
Look at that face. He looks like he's taking a lot of punches. And come on.
This is what's surprising. I'm surprised you actually say no because I watch you do combat jiu-jitsu with Donald Cerrone. Now you're doing karate combat.
We had a gentleman's agreement, though. He said, don't pop my ankles, and I won't slap you. I said, you got yourself a deal there, man.
I mean, he tapped you really hard on the face on the way out. I will say that.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
He did. He
I
did.
can't even remember. I got drunk afterwards.
I mean, when in Rome, we were in Cancun. You had to do it, right?
Had to be done, yeah.
Exactly. So let's talk about this matchup. Lovato, UFC Fight Pass Invitational, you're no stranger to this platform. It's exciting for us. Is it exciting for you to be back on the stage?
For sure. I mean, I think top to bottom, this is one of the most accomplished sort of average level of grappler on the card. For some reason, everyone else on the card's got a black belt world title. I've won absolutely nothing, but I'm in the main event, and I'm happy with that, you know.
We were talking with Rafael a moment ago. You are the sort of new generation of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu player. One of the top stars in the sport, if not the top star. What is that like for you? Do you realize that you are leading the sport into a different sort of realm, and do you like that?
I mean, I think so. I think, like, I'm the most famous, least accomplished grappler in the game. I think my jokes have taken me all the way to the top. Volkanovski's coattails have taken me pretty far as well. But, yeah, I mean, it feels pretty good, obviously. Better than being on the undercard, not getting paid, you know?
You know, he's leaned into this old man gimmick. I mean, were you given any pointers on how to, pull this off? Not that you're an old man, but like...
me?
No, yeah. Like, he's been having fun with it. Did you have any conversation with him about, hey, just go out there and if these people want you to be old, give him an old man?
I mean, I always encourage him to try to cross the line of the jokes he makes, you know what I mean? He's usually the voice of reason, so it's hard for him. He's got a good public image, I try to push him over the edge, but he stays strong always.
Does he get any backlash? Like, bro, why is your jiu-jitsu coach posting this right now?
Yeah, he's like, why is your jiu-jitsu coach talking nose beers, lady boys? He's like, calm down, Craig, please. You're damaging both of us.
You dropped nose beers in the last FBI post-fight speech, and I had to go to urbandictionary.com to figure out what that was. I'm like, what does that mean? So
yeah,
I figured it out.
I think, I don't know if Chiesa knew or not, but they shut the interview down right then.
It's funny how that works.
I think that's a good strategy. If you're done with the media, say something they're going to have to bleep out, and they'll kick you off the stage anyway. Right.
It's like, did he mean to say that? Because you were so casual with it, too. So that's why I'm like, what does that mean? I don't know what that means. Let's talk about this matchup. Lovato, former, MMA world champion, accomplished jiu-jitsu player. Definitely worthy of being the main event. You like this match?
Yeah, this is one we've been talking about for years. I think I heard him say it. We've been going back and forth on it for years, and we never actually got it booked. So I'm glad as well that we waited this long, because obviously under the UFC banner, we get the most money and the most eyes on it. So I'm very happy about that.
What is that FPI stage like? I mean, you've been in the biggest, tournaments in the world. Where does the Apex and, that mat sort of rank in sort of prestige at this point in the sport?
I mean, you're trying to compare it to something else. Most of the other events I've done, there's 3 guys there to support someone else. They don't even know what the fuck's going on, you know what I mean? So just the fact that it has the UFC name on it, people are going to watch it, you know what I mean? So it feels... Obviously, there's more eyes on it, more pressure on it, but again, as a result, obviously we get paid more and we get more attention.
How far can jiu-jitsu go in sort of mainstream combat sports, you think?
I mean, I don't think I'll ever go too mainstream, because a lot of the things I say get a bit censored. Yeah. Oh, that's true. That's true.
You go mainstream now. You say the most inappropriate things, and everybody gets to hear them.
That's true. That's true. Maybe I need to keep going in that direction.
Yeah. I think you figured it out.
I'm going to say Belal endorsed it. This is endorsed by Belal Muhammad. These ladyboy jokes.
Yes.
Belal gave me the seal of approval before. I ran him by him.
It's perfect.
He's lying.
And he's nice. He's squeaky clean, so that's a good endorsement.
Allegedly. That's not what I've heard.
Man, now I don't know if he's stirring the pot or if he's being honest, Bilal. You get up to shady things, Bilal?
No lady boys from here. Sorry, guys.
If you don't know, you don't know. It's the after party.
All right.
There you go. I'm going to let you two get out of here before Belal Muhammad gets in trouble. And I'm going to bring back
Appreciate you. We'll be back.
All right. They're going to step out. We're going to talk more with Rafael Lovato and Craig Jones as we get ready for the UFC Fight Pass Invitational coming up again March 3rd in Las Vegas. And, man, this is a fun fight to say the least. And, this is one thing that I think is weird, Craig. In MMA, like, if you guys were fighting an MMA fight, we'd need Dana White to stand in between you two just in case things go off. But in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, it seems like the competitors tend to get along with each other a little bit more. There's less bad blood. I mean, there definitely is bad blood out there. But
there is for sure, yeah.
But I feel like more often than not, there is this level of respect where, the match is one thing, but, giving a good show to the fans and elevating the sport is also top priority sometimes.
Well, we're not actually going to have a fight, so there's not you know what I mean? It's like, if there's bad blood, what are we going to do? We're going to pull guard? Security can step in quick. No punches will be thrown,
How do you feel about that, Rafael? Because, like, when I hear some jiu-jitsu players say, I've got a fight coming up, but they're talking about a jiu-jitsu match, sometimes they take offense to, it not being called a fight. Other times, people just don't care.
Well, I've seen Craig do some nasty stuff to people's knees before. So
it's true.
In Brazil, when they refer to jiu-jitsu competition, the word is just luta,
Right.
And so as it came to the U.S., I think just the translation kind of it kept this sort of like fight, verbiage. But yeah, we're not fighting. We're not fighting. I've been in the cage. I've been locked in the cage for 25 minutes, a championship fight before, and this is definitely not that. And that's why I kind of don't understand why there is this little level of trash talk going on in jiu-jitsu. Sometimes these days it's like, if we're going to trash talk, then let's really fight and see who the better man is, It just doesn't make sense. But yeah, and then you got Craig just making fun of everybody and keeping it lighthearted.
Is that how you show love, Craig? Do you? Are you mean to the ones you love the most?
Well, that's what Australians do. We're probably meaner to our friends than we are to our enemies. We say horrible stuff to each other. Like in Volkanovski's team, and even in Eugene over in New Zealand. Like, man, if people heard the shit we say to each other, they think we really hated each other. So it's like, it really does cross the line. I think the embedded people have to censor out a lot of the horrible things we do.
Do you ever talk during a match?
I might apologize if I like poking someone in the eye or something,
right.
Or like accidentally knee him, but that's about it,
You ever talk in a fight?
Super weird when someone does that.
Yeah?
No.
I remember there was this guy in the UFC named Matt Horwich, and he would like call out his own strikes. He'd be like, jab, jab, cross. It was just bizarre.
It could definitely throw the other person off.
Right.
Might be a good strategy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean,
figure out something super awkward to say to Craig during the match.
I mean, yeah, now you're giving your strategy away. So I'm definitely going to ask, what is this match? What should fans expect from this matchup coming up on March 3rd?
I think it's going to be an exciting one. People have wanted it for years. I think probably going to end. One of us going to submit the other one, I think, you know. So I think no one's going to play it too safe.
Fair to say?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of the battle of the ages, you know, like he's got the kind of, you know, unique, intricate, sort of dangerous everywhere style. You know, these days, like really focus on just the no-gi game. You know, I'm a little more of the classic, right? And it's going to be interesting, you know. I think it's going to be a great battle. Very, very technical. And, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
You both have done different rule sets on the Fight Pass Invitational previous. You know, Craig, what are your thoughts on the sort of open ideology that Fight Pass has to jiu-jitsu, and they're not really ever sticking with one rule set? You know, always seems to be a little bit of changes here and there. Like, did you like the last rule set?
I mean, to be honest, I just selfishly want to pick a rule set I think I can beat someone in. So, like, if I look at a guy that's really good with points, I'll be like, man, we got to do EBI overtime.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, like, I'm unashamedly going to try to pick a rule set that best suits me. But then if I see someone else like Gordon changing the rules, I'm like, how could this guy do this? You know what I mean? It violates the purity of the sport.
Right, of course. I mean, you just argue your own narrative, right?
Yeah, that's the game. But I mean, this one's there's no EBI overtime. EBI overtime can be pretty annoying sometimes. You know, sometimes you feel wrong. You're giving this guy a position he hasn't earned. You know, I understand that as well.
It's tactics. You know what I mean? And like, I firmly believe that there's an answer to be had about not going to overtime if regulation was dominated by one athlete.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
So, yeah.
So. Yeah. What are your thoughts on the different rule sets? Is there one you prefer over the other?
I mean, I think at the end of the day, it comes down to the competitors, right, and what their style is and the mindset they have. You know, there is no perfect rule set. You can get boring matches in any rule set. So I think it's cool that the UFC is open to exploring. You know, and really letting the competitors kind of have their voice and what they think is going to work well. And this is kind of the best of both worlds. You have a sub only and you have points. So I like it. You know, I haven't really come across a rule set in my time that I thought was like, okay, that's perfect. You know, so you know, and at the end of the day, I don't think it really matters with us. I think we're both going to go after each other, and it doesn't matter what rule set we were in, it would be a good match no matter what. Yeah,
I think you hit the nail on the head there. Rules really don't matter when you have the talent of these two men. It is your main event of the UFC Fight Pass Invitational number 6. It is March 3rd in Las Vegas. Craig Jones takes on Rafael Lovato. And I mean, you guys are so nice. I feel like this is the safest stare down we could ever have, so I want to take advantage of it. Can we get you guys to square off a little bit, man?
Sure.
All right.
Should we go here? Or?
Let's just do it behind the table.
Okay.
I'm not going to be the Dana White. Someone else can be the guy in the middle. Uh-oh, Belal Muhammad's going to square him out. That's good. That's good. We'll have you go up front. All right. Craig Jones in the pink, Rafael Lovato, and Belal Muhammad doing his best to keep these guys away from each other. Again, the UFC Fight Pass Invitational number 6, March 3rd in Las Vegas. Craig Jones, Rafael Lovato. It is your main event of the FPI. There we go. Awesome stuff coming your way, live and exclusive on UFC Fight Pass. Belal Muhammad might end up being the referee of that fight. Maybe not, but yeah. All right. Getting both halves of the B team here now. I almost didn't recognize you, Nicky Rod, kind enough to join us. You're wearing a shirt. You never wear shirts.
Take it off.
You want me to do it with the shirt off?
I'll take mine off if you take yours off. Oh, son of a bitch. You're the Natty King. And, I mean, I feel like if you work out, that's not letting nature take its course. You want to see what a real man looks like when nature takes its course?
Let me have it, buddy.
I kind of need that shirt back. I don't know why I did that.
Keep it, keep it.
We're hanging out
Take
in
it,
extra
take it.
rounds. TJ DeSantis, the Natty King, Nicky Rod, Craig Jones.
Confidence
Why
is
did
key,
I
brother.
do that?
Because you're a real man. You let
All
it
right,
loose. Let it hang.
You've been on the nose beers today, eh?
Not enough. Can you tell? I think you lose weight when you're on the nose beers. No?
Allegedly, I wouldn't know.
Yeah. We were talking about bad blood a little bit, and man, you had quite a call out in your last FPI performance.
Yeah, there's one main guy on my radar. I want to take him out, and I'll have him soon enough.
You didn't go joyriding in a truck lately, did you?
I've done my own truck.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure.
I'm more of a two-wheel guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, we're not saying his name, but his name is Gordon Ryan. You guys have a history. Do you think we're ever going to see you and Gordon on the mat again?
It's bound to happen unless he just completely retires and steps away from the sport, which would be in his best interest. Because once you're on top, the only way to go is down.
But you say in his best interest. I mean, he's been very open about his health issues. He has some stomach bugs, and he's trying to get back to health. I mean, you obviously know Gordon in a way that no one else really does. Your teammates, you share the mat. Do you feel that his stepping back is all 100% related to the health issues and the things he's experienced off the mat?
Let's see, where do I go with this and not be too mean? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really focus on – I just focus on my own progression. He's kind of brought those issues upon himself by, stuff he does outside the gym, I guess, or for the gym. But, yeah, I'm just focused on being the best version of myself. And, I want the best matches possible and just look forward to competing every time.
What are your thoughts, Craig, on this semi-retirement of Gordon?
I mean, it's on again, off again, I never know week to week whether he's retired or not. It's kind of hard to keep up. You guys probably know better than me when you guys offer him a match what his current health condition is. I've really given up. I tried to focus on it for a while. I think he's doing 80cc, but nothing else. That's what
I mean, he's focused on that, but it sounds like he wants to take a step back to get healthy.
I want to do the reverse of that. I want to do everything else but not 80cc because we don't get paid enough in that.
I mean, maybe that's why you're doing karate combat. Like you're a jiu-jitsu player and you're doing karate.
That's true. I mean, they've sold me Mexican ground karate down Mexico City. They had me until I found out it was altitude. There was at altitude, but I've already
really high.
I've already signed the contract. I've been pretty high in Vegas, if you know what I mean. But Mexico City, I might get higher.
Is it? Yeah, I mean, Mexico City is higher, and we're not talking about altitude right now. All right, got it. Is there any way that you guys can salvage a relationship with Gordon? Is that out the window?
You first.
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, it might take some ecstasy and a big night out, and we might have an embrace after that, but I'm not sure, I feel like maybe that's what he needs in his life.
All right. Nicky?
Ditto. What he said.
Fair enough. All right, let's talk about a match we know you have coming up.
Yeah.
You're on the FBI. Roberto Jimenez, fun grappler. Your thoughts on that matchup?
Yeah, Roberto's a great athlete. I'm looking forward to the match. It's going to be very active, very offensive on both sides. And, I'm looking forward to it. We're 1-1. He beat me when I was like a blue belt. I beat him recently at UFC Fight Pass when I was a brown belt. And, you'll be a tiebreaker.
What is it like for you now with your star getting bigger and brighter? You're able to keep this competition pace that's pretty active. Did you ever foresee your jiu-jitsu career getting to this level of activity and being, a pro competitor like this, how you can pay your bills?
Yeah, for sure. I thought I'd be better sooner, but now we're just we have a slow climb up the ranks and just chipping away at it. Goals right now consist of winning ADCC in both absolute and heavyweight weight class, and soon after that, be pound for pound #1. So that's what I'm chasing, and I'll be there very shortly.
What do you expect in this matchup? Because you've shined so well on this FPI stage, one of the brightest stars there. Do you expect business as usual? Is there something we should look out for in this match?
my style is just very offensive. I plan to attack the entire time. So throughout that offensive, I'll find my sequences and find a win in a dominant fashion. I like the fact that this rule set takes away the judge's opinion, right? Because we have a period for submission only, and then we have a period that points matter. So positional control, passing guard, and then obviously you want to submit your opponent no matter what. So I like the idea of having points because it's not based upon somebody's opinion. It's based upon facts and results.
Now, obviously, you guys are part of one of the best teams in jiu-jitsu, competing on the same card. What is it like at the B team right now when you guys both have a busy schedule? Is training like that proverbial fight every day? Well, okay, maybe not a fight. Proverbial match every day, Craig, when you go in?
I mean, I'll be honest, I haven't been there all year. I agreed to take this match while I was on a bender over in Bali at the time. It sounded like a good idea at the time. So I fly back tomorrow.
Okay.
So we'll find out. Usually when I come back, I've talked so much shit to all my students. Everyone tries to kill me. So Monday, I'm imagining it'll be a pretty rough day for me.
Is that true? Can you confirm?
Yeah, pretty much. Craig goes on vacation, somehow gets better when he's traveling, comes back and puts work in on us. So I mean, it's good. It's definitely great to be doing battle with a team. It's me, J Rod, and Craig Jones competing on the same night, UFC Fight Pass. So it's definitely. We're going to be peaking at the same times, and we go out there and do battle together and have fun.
Is it not hard for you to stop training, Craig? Can you literally walk away and have a vacation without going and getting on the mat?
Honestly, I got a good 3 minutes in me, but usually what happens is my style's pretty awkward. So the more time I roll with people, the better they do against me. So for me, it actually bodes well if I disappear for a while and come back and do some weird bullshit in the gym that they forgot about. And then I try to disappear again before they figure it out again.
He has a very innovative style. He can be offensive from top, bottom, neutral, and he always changes it up. Craig's very unique when he grapples, and he's hard to learn, hard to read.
What is the dynamic like? Because obviously you're the headliners, if you will, of the B team. But do you have the next generation of savages that are like blue belts and purple belts right now?
Yeah, for sure. There's like an army of guys in our code over there, for sure.
How much do you like teaching?
I mean, I like teaching instructionals because then I teach it once and it's out there forever.
You just cash that check.
But in terms of teaching I like to teach a small group of more advanced guys and just polish up. But in terms of teaching beginners, that can be mentally challenging. You know what I mean?
You mentioned him traveling and coming back better. Do you like to get away from the gym and go train with other people and bring things back to the B team? Or
I don't like to travel at all. I like to stay home, train consistently, and help evolve my game. I really only travel for seminars and competition. Besides that, I'm in the room training. I value my routine, my regimen very heavily. And I think that's why I've gotten so good so fast.
So you can't stop. You can't walk away from the mats for more than a day or two.
It's too much fun. Whenever I'm doing anything, I'm like, I wish I was training, getting better.
When you first got into jiu-jitsu, what were your expectations? Did you think that a competition career was inevitable?
Well, I first started training, it's been about 5 years now, and my first 2 competitions, I kept beating local brown belts and black belts, and I was like, all right, well, this keeps, I keep winning, so I might as well keep doing it. And by the time I won West Coast Trials, I was like, all right, this is probably going to be something serious for me. And then I medaled, I took second at ADCC World Championships with a year and a half of training. And then, I definitely fully committed once that happened and was focused on making money and making this a career. And my goal from day one has been to be #1 pound for pound, and that's what I'm chasing consistently.
He's so motivated. Is it not rub off? Do you not get a secondhand motivation from this kid?
He can have it, eh? You take pound for pound #1, eh? I like a relaxing life. I like to consider myself the B team international ambassador. I'm disappearing to weird parts of the world.
If he was too ambitious, I think it would be too hard for him to help me. He's very selfless when we train and whatnot, constantly giving myself and the teammates advice and whatnot. So it's a great balance in B team.
He takes my back. I talk him through the submission. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very generous.
All right. Well, can't wait to see you guys on the card. Again, March 3rd, the UFC Fight Pass Invitational number 6, headlined by Craig Jones. Nicky Rod, he's going to be there as well, taking on Roberto Jimenez. Guys, appreciate the time, and good luck to you and Volk tonight.
Your shirt's gone, man.
Someone really took it?
I told him to steal it.
Dang. It's going to be worth absolutely what I paid for it, and that's it. So, thanks, guys. Appreciate you stopping by.
Keep it off, bud.
Oh, man. No, that's not happening. I'm going to get pneumonia out here. Oh, my goodness. Oh, what? Oh, no. We're going to take photos? They're taking photos. What are we doing? I got a broadcast to do. No one wants to see my fat ass stand up. Oh, man. That's ridiculous. Thank you for embracing that situation. I apologize. Here on UFC Fight Pass, I'm TJ DeSantis, half naked in front of the world. This is not what I expected when I got into radio, let me tell you that. We are live here at the UFC Fight Pass fan experience as we get ready for UFC 298. It is tonight here in Anaheim. I can't believe someone actually took my shirt. I guess that's what happens when you throw it out in the crowd. It's all right. Put this on. Good thing I got a hoodie, otherwise I actually would be here. Hi. Took my shirt off. It's a mistake. It's not good. Not good at all.
Off air now?
No, we're on the radio or the television or whatever the hell this thing is.
Not to go far. I told those guys if I had known you were going to take your shirt off, I said I would have come out here. You don't need to fly me out. I'll pay for everything just to come see that spectacle. I love it.
You see, Nicky Rod's the natty king. He's all natural. But I'm really all natural.
Absolutely.
I'm just letting nature take its course.
I love it. And no need to trim the chest hair. Just let it flow. I love it. I love it.
It's gray, though.
Well,
I don't like that.
Well, look at my face. Look at my hair. It's
Yeah,
all
let's talk
great.
about the hair, by the way.
Yeah.
Quite a
we'll talk
decision.
about, yeah. Well, you know, my wife, it was her. You know, she said it's time, and it is time. You know, trying to be a little bit more professional. You know?
All right. Fair enough.
So obviously we have more to get to on this card, but once he puts a headset on, we'll ask him. No break for Belal Muhammad whatsoever. Just
He's a
fans.
grinder.
How was that?
It was good, man. It's always getting that fan energy, the people out here. I love California now.
So when we were on the set talking some jiu-jitsu, we had some fans holding up a phone for Belal to see. It said, "Fudge Leon."
Wait. Why is TJ's shirt back on, though?
I know. I rushed up here with that shirt off.
You know. I want to let the other guys feel okay about themselves, you know?
Yeah, I get it. I just missed you actually taking it off. That's what's upsetting me.
I don't know if you missed much. Now joining us.
Hey, what's up, brother?
There he is.
The man, the myth, the legend. WBC Continental America's champion, defending his title once again, March 15th at the theater in Madison Square Garden. It is the King, Callum Walsh, kind enough to join myself, TJ DeSantis, Jason Anik, Belal Muhammad. Callum Walsh, how you doing?
I'm all good, yeah. I'm sweating there to take off the hoodie. I thought it'd be cold over here, but it's actually warm.
How are you sweating with all that ice on, bro?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Not enough, but not enough is it?
I mean, you left the hardware at home. You don't walk around with the belt everywhere.
Not anymore.
Some other MMA fighters. I did see you mow the lawn in Ireland on Instagram with the belt on, so you definitely put it through its miles. But man, let's talk about the journey for yourself. It continues. You were the UFC Fight Pass Athlete of the Year in 2023. The next chapter continues again March 15th in New York City. Familiar stomping grounds. MSG in the theaters, now your new home, Callum.
Yeah, it's not a bad home. It's better than my apartment, isn't it? But yeah, I have to retire that other belt since I'm going to fight for another one. Sure, I'm going to fight for the WBC Continental or something like that. I think. I don't even know if it's announced yet, but there you go.
There you go. Let's go.
So, yeah,
breaking news.
yeah, so I hung that one up on the wall. So I have room for the other one.
See, this is what I like about Callum. He's just so laid back and chill. He doesn't exactly know what the stakes of his next high-stakes fight is. I bet you if I asked you the name of your opponent, you probably don't even know.
No, I didn't even watch any tape or nothing. I just fight. I just show up and I fight someone. You know what I mean? That's it. It's my job is to fight, so I don't ask when or where or whatever.
See, that's why Dana White likes you so much.
Just give me a fight. You know what I mean? I've had enough of them. I'm after fighting sure 140 times already. You know what I mean? So
right. Just, grab the Irish flag, put on the shorts with the howler head on it, and then go to work. That's all you need to do.
Yeah, and get the bottle of it for after.
But get the right walk-on music this time.
Yeah. I felt like Mike Perry, when they played the Halo. That's what I felt like the last time. But I was all right. Got the job done anyway.
What is the walkout song going to be? Like, I feel like we still need to get that Cranberry Zombie rock into the theater.
Yeah, we got it after, After I won, the crowd started singing and it was good, but I should have got it at the start. But I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I don't know, maybe I'll just tell the DJ just do whatever again. Just surprise me, yeah.
Keep winning.
Actually, we're gonna play a little game with you, Callum. You are the king, and we're gonna play a game called Crown 'em with the king. I'm gonna give you a couple of options, and you're gonna pick your favorite, and that'll be the king of the sort of potential sort of matchup, if you will. So you want to play?
Yeah, go on.
Let's do it. All right. Let's take a look here at our first matchup. Crown 'em with the king. Orange juice or apple juice, sir? What would get the crown?
I'd say apple juice because I drink too many vodka orange. But every time I drink the orange, I think of vodka, so I give the apple juice.
What an honest answer. I would definitely be wary of what I would drink if I really was partial to orange juice, because one hangover with screwdrivers, orange juice probably out the window, right?
Yeah, never again, but never again.
Okay, let me throw another one at you. Orange juice or grapefruit juice? Because now it's California versus Florida.
Still the same thing, every time I drink that orange, it tastes like vodka. No, it just tastes like vodka to me, man. For years I've been just drinking that stuff, so nah.
I don't know if anybody under 70 years old has had a glass of grapefruit juice, to be honest with you.
I never had, but sure, we'll try it.
You never had grapefruit juice?
Nah, I doubt it. I don't really drink juice, only with vodka.
There you go. All right, fair enough. All right, let's go. Next one, we've got, let's see here, I can read it over here. Disneyland, which is 5 minutes away, or Disney World, which is in Florida. Have you been to either?
I've been to Disneyland already once.
Yeah.
I'll give it to that one. So I've been there once. So
at least you have some information on that one, right? You can't pick one you've never been to.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I'll give it to, what is it, Disneyland? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite Disney character?
Nah, I never watched it. No, not really. Never watched it.
There's not really a badass Disney character now that I think about it.
They're all soft. They're too soft for me.
There's no Disney boxers. Yeah,
no.
There's not really much.
No.
Not really, no.
Everything's all happy and duckies and bunnies over there.
Singing songs and stuff. It's just...
Yeah. All right. Let's go grab another one here. Let's see what we got here. McDonald's, which originated here in San Bernardino, California, or Burger King?
Oh, McDonald's all day.
Yeah?
We say McDonald's. I don't know. Hey, everyone else says McDonald's. Yeah.
What do you get at McDonald's? What's the go-to?
I don't know. The chicken nuggets are nice, but they're nicer in Ireland, though. They taste different out here. But out here, just get the Oreo McFlurry.
There you go.
Ice cream.
Do they really taste different here? Because
yeah.
I went to China one time, and this might surprise you. I'm a very picky eater, and I don't eat a lot of Chinese food, but I love McDonald's. And I went with chicken over there, and it was fine. Chicken nuggets.
It tastes very different in Ireland. It's I don't like McDonald's out here really.
What do you? What's your one go-to after a fight when you can get back on any sort of food you want for a little while?
Orange juice.
Yeah, and vodka. And vodka. You're forgetting. No, I don't know. I don't really like to eat fast food. I don't like the feeling of it. After you eat, I feel disgusting. But I just like go to a restaurant, get pasta and stuff like that. Actual real food. Fast food, I just feel disgusting, man. After eating.
What's your go-to Irish dish? I feel like everyone's gonna say corned beef, right?
Yeah, no, I like the roast beef.
Yeah.
I get my grandmother to cook it. Big dinner. Yeah, it's nice.
There you go. I now want to eat, to be honest with you. Let's go over here. My physique might let you know that I want to eat. All right, this is a good one. Crown 'em. Bruce Buffer or Michael Buffer?
It has to be Bruce, man.
Yeah,
I've only talked. I've never met Michael, sure. I've only been talking to Bruce.
Yeah, exactly.
Good answer. Good answer.
Yeah. There's a lot of UFC blood in this boxer. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm trying to get him to announce my fight, sure.
I know.
I wanted to get him to announce me for one of my fights.
You gotta talk to Dana.
I need to
Dana can make that happen.
That's what I need to get.
Yeah. We've talked a lot about this. You obviously are a huge MMA fan. You even said disparaging things about boxing, and have said sort of tongue-in-cheek that you're the man to step up and save boxing. But as you're pursuing boxing, you have this relationship with Tony Ferguson. You train here in LA up at the Wild Card. This is the hotbed for MMA. How much MMA have you really actually sort of messed around with?
I've done a lot, to be fair. Well,
yeah?
I'm trying to keep an eye on Tom there and stuff, and they won't be happy, but I've done more than they think, innit?
Yeah?
Yeah, when I'm not in camp, but I like it, because I've been boxing since I was 6 years old, so it's the same thing every day, you're punching, you're doing mitts, you're just doing the same stuff. So I like to learn new things, I like to test myself, and at the end of the day, I don't think of myself as a boxer. I think of myself as a man, as a fighter. You know, I wanna go down in history as a fighter. You know, and like I've been in a lot of fights. I've been in fights out on the street, out on the road, and I always think like I want to do more than just box. I mean, I wanna actually fight. And I think having the background of boxing, and then learning some wrestling and stuff like that. Having the good hands is a good base to have. And but yeah, I've done more than they think. Sure, my girlfriend David Ricci is black belt jiu-jitsu.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Around her every day. So I'll be learning a few things there. And when they're not around, keeping it secret.
Like low key, this dude's gonna be a purple belt. He's still never messing
I don't know.
around.
I want to do something like that. I want to just not say nothing, just keep training, like no post, no videos, nothing. Then someday just
come out. Just come out and become a grappler.
It's a new man, new man.
Well, what's amazing to me is if you do slowly but surely make your way to mixed martial arts, I've seen you hit people with big gloves on.
Oh, I'd love to hit someone.
You carry that over in a 4-ounce glove, man. That's terrifying.
That's my dream. I'd love to hit somebody with them small gloves, man. I'd love that. I've hit people bare knuckle, and anytime I've hit some bare knuckle, they've gone down. So, but. Yeah, no, I'd love to get them small gloves on and be able to hit somebody. But see, I'm only 23. I've loads of time. I've all the time in the world. Keep training, but I understand though I can't just go and do it. I have to train. I have to do it properly. Like I respect all the UFC fighters. I respect everyone around UFC, and to know that I'm not just going to walk in there. I'm just going to get smashed.
Now, when you're watching the fights, do you enjoy seeing the grappling sequences?
Oh, here, the funniest thing ever, right? The other night, actually, I just thought of it. I was dreaming I was fighting MMA, and we were in bed, right? And obviously, Tabitha was there, and I was like, I think I was on the cage. In the dream, I was on the cage. I was trying to get a wizard in my dream, and I elbowed her. And then we woke up, and I was like, I was dreaming I was fighting MMA. Funniest scene. It's on my mind all the time. It's on my mind.
Did the elbow hurt her?
Nah.
I mean, you're lucky she didn't just have nature kick you and just throw you like a Kimura or something.
I don't know, I was funny in it. I was actually dreaming about fighting MMA.
That's breaking news: Callum Walsh out of his fight in Madison Square Garden because he got Kimura'd in his sleep by girlfriend Tabitha Ricci.
Yeah, that would have been a bad one already.
So you're going to go back to New York here March 15th. It's St. Patrick's Day weekend. You got to fight out east last year in Boston. Obviously, the same weekend I'm talking about, you fought back in November at MSG. How much of the Irish are you expecting to show up and show out for you in this upcoming fight?
I'm expecting a lot this time. Like I always say, I don't take easy fights. You see, my last fight was a tough fight. I fought a hard 10 rounds, and people at this stage of their careers don't take these especially boxers. They don't take these hard fights. And I wanted, every time I go out there and fight, I want to put on a good, exciting fight for the fans. I don't care whether I win or lose. I want the fans to show up because they know it's going to be a good fight. You're not going to come up and see a boring fight with me. You're going to see a good fight, and somebody's getting knocked out, whether it's me or him. Somebody's probably going to get knocked out, and that's what I want. I want people to be fans. Like I said, bringing back exciting fights into boxing. I want the boxing fans to just show up, not for the person, just show up for the fights. Like the UFC fights, everybody shows up because they know from the first fight to the very last fight, you're getting good fights. And that's what we're trying to do, on UFC Fight Pass, put on good fights. And I guarantee you, everybody that was at my last fight is going to show up again.
Yeah, and I think that's why Dana has, leaned into you as much as he has. You come from a sport where not a lot of people want to go out and test themselves, especially at 23 years old when you're, just very early in your career. They want safe fights. You don't have safe fights. You have tough fights. And the most, quote-unquote, lackluster fight I've seen of yours, Callum, is when you finish the guy early and he can't continue. And maybe it wasn't in a devastating knockout sort of way, but you punish these guys and they can't stand in front of you. And the fact that you look at their record and it's far from lopsided. Like, there are guys who've been, very accomplished in their own right. They have, maybe 2 or 3 losses. They're trying to make a name off of you. That's one thing I think is really interesting, is you're 23 years old. You're trying to prove yourself, but because you're doing so on this high level, do you feel like you're kind of hunted when you fight these guys?
Yeah, I know, and I understand that everybody that fights me wants to put an end to me. They want to make their name off beating me, so everybody brings their best, when they show up to fight me. And like my last opponent, I knew he was going to do that.
Right.
I went into his backyard, fought him in his own town, in front of his fans, and I took on a good fight, a good prospect from out there who lost one fight on a close decision.
Right.
So he was he wasn't just some bum. Everybody's looking at him just because they don't know him. They're thinking, "Oh, this guy's a bum." You know what I mean? But he was a good fighter. He was close to my age. He wasn't old. He was young. He was up and coming. And I said, "Fuck it, let's fight."
There's still upside for him too. He's not going to go anywhere. Like, he's a very talented kid, and probably better off for having the fight with you. You mentioned his hometown. I was a little interested in what those judges were going to say, because it was a close competitive fight. That's something I feel like we see a lot more in boxing than in MMA. Hometown guys sometimes get that judges, favor when you don't really see that in MMA as much.
Yeah, I just felt like, when it came down to it, I knew it was going to come down to it at some stage. We were going to have to stay.
Right.
He was landing shots, but I wasn't hurt. I feel like I have a good chin.
Yeah. 100%.
I definitely proved that in the last fight. Maybe I took a bit more punches than I should have, but fuck it, I was having fun.
But it's also good to show that, too, that you can rely on your chin. You never want to, no pun intended here, you never want to lead with your chin being one of your stronger points and attributes, but, man, it's a hell of a thing to have when you need to rely on it. And, we learned a lot about you in that fight, and I assume we're going to learn more coming up here on March 15th. First fight here of 2024, following up a phenomenal year in 2023 where you won Athlete of the Year on UFC Fight Pass. What is the plan? How many times would you like to fight here in 2024?
As much as I can. If I come out of this next fight here clean, untouched, like I always do, no cuts, no injuries, I'll fight again in April if Tom has a show in April. Or, I don't know, I think the next one will probably be June, or I don't know. I'll fight whenever, as long as I'm clean and I'm not injured, I'm ready to go again straight away. So we'll see how many times I can fight.
What about a homecoming fight? When are we going to see you back in Ireland fight?
Very soon, hopefully.
Yeah?
This summer has to be. It has to happen. People are waiting for it. I want it. Everybody wants it. So Dana wants it. He's told me about it. He keeps telling me about it. So hopefully after this next fight, we'll be able to announce something.
We'll see what happens. March 15th is when you can see the King back in action at the theater at Madison Square Garden. You can watch it live and exclusive on UFC Fight Pass. Behind us is the Honda Center, home to UFC 298. Another Irishman fighting tonight. The future, Ian Gary. Your thoughts on this exciting young man who continues to, get people to talk about him for better or for worse? Your thoughts on Ian Gary?
Yeah, that's the thing. People are talking about him. Everybody knows his name. I think he's a good fighter. He's an Irishman. I'm not going to turn my back on an Irishman. No matter what happens. I'm Irish. He's Irish. You can't do it. So
there's some hesitation there. I'm looking at it like, I'm picking Jeff Neal, but I got to go with that.
No. Some of the stuff he does, I'm thinking, come on, man. But. Yeah. Nah, he's Irish. I can't turn my back on Irish, man. But hopefully he gets the win tonight, and hopefully he changes the opinions of a few people and gets back on track. But at the moment, he's not really the most favoured fella in the UFC. But if he keeps winning, they can keep talking. As long as he's winning, that's his job.
Winning solves everything.
Well, most things.
Well, he's honest about it. You're wise beyond your years, Callum.
I'm an old man in there, right?
There you go. Well, best of luck here on March 15th. I'll be out there. Excited to return to New York, and what a weekend. St. Patrick's Day weekend. The Irish going to be out in force, and they're going to be cheering on the King, Callum Walsh. Thanks, Callum.
Thank you.
There he is.
It's good to see you, bro.
Thanks, boss.
This guy is the only dude who goes to as many UFCs as Dana White. I swear to God, you're at all of them. So go enjoy the show.
Yeah, exactly.
For free. Yeah. Don't forget that I'm here for free.
He's on that short VIP list.
There we go. Callum Walsh, kind enough to give us a few moments as he gets ready for his fight again March 15th at the theater, Madison Square Garden. It is Hollywood Fight Nights going down in New York City. This is Extra Rounds. I'm TJ DeSantis. He is Jason Anik. That man, remember the name, Belal Muhammad. And Tom Loeffler's going to give us a few moments. He is the promoter of Hollywood Fight Nights, the preeminent show in the sweet science of boxing, which is live and exclusive on UFC Fight Pass. Have you throw those headphones on there, Tom? And Tom, you obviously have a good relationship with Dana. You're going to all these events that Callum's going. Is it safe to say that you're a full-fledged mixed martial arts fan? Obviously, you come from boxing, but you got to love this MMA game as well.
I tell you, TJ, Callum Walsh is a boxer, but being with him at this UFC fan experience, he's got more UFC fans now because of the support that Dana has given him, and naturally the broad platform that the UFC has worldwide, and he's taken so many photos here. I think more UFC fans know him than boxing now.
Yeah, I mean, he's MMA's favorite boxer, and that's pretty exciting. And he's utilized this platform quite well on UFC Fight Pass, and he's just one of many boxers that fight and compete under the 360 Promotions brand. You're back in action coming up 6 days from today. Chumash Casino up the road in Santa Barbara. Phenomenal card there. Gore Uritsian is on it. Break that down and sort of maybe give people at home who haven't tuned in to a Hollywood Fight Nights what they can expect on Fight Night.
February 23, TJ, you'll be up there.
Yes, sir.
Chumash Casino, the beautiful Santa Ynez Valley up there. Gore Uritsian versus Quentin Randall for the WBC Continental America's welterweight title. That'll be a great fight. And then Kane Sandoval, who's become a fan favorite on UFC Fight Pass. He had a great performance at the last show at Madison Square Garden. He'll be fighting against Javier Molina, a former Olympian, U.S. Olympian here from L.A. So it's going to be a tremendous show. February 23. Live on UFC Fight Pass from Chumash Casino.
You've sort of changed the way that I think people have expectations for these up-and-comers in boxing, and Dana has talked a lot about that. There are no easy fights on a 360 show. You're getting guys like Callum, really good experience, young and early in their career. You've been in this boxing game for a long time, Tom. Was it hard to start to change to that and try to get fighters to go out and take tougher challenges early on?
Our commitment to Dana was we'll build boxing on UFC Fight Pass, and we'll have a path. You see where Callum Walsh actually started with his second fight on UFC Fight Pass, and now he's really well known with the UFC fight fans. This will be his second fight, March 15th at Madison Square Garden, which is huge for a boxer to fight back-to-back within 4 months. Representing the Irish Howlerhead, because it'll be St. Patrick's Day. I see you got your green hoodie on. But, just doing boxing on UFC Fight Pass, it's important for these young guys to stay active.
Right.
And, again, the commitment we made to Dana was it's all going to be competitive fights. We're not building fighters as far as easy fights and building their record, padding their record. It's going to be more the UFC model where they got to be in competitive fights, otherwise they're not going to be on the show. And the fans have reacted to that. They like the production. They like the speed as far as the boxing, the fights go. And, it's really working. These young guys, Omar Trinidad had a big win as a featherweight on the last show at Commerce Casino. And the fans are reacting to it.
I've had the luxury of calling a few of your events, and one of the biggest things that I've sort of taken away from your matches that you've put on with some of these, up-and-coming prospects is you give these 360 guys tough fights, and sometimes it doesn't go their way early, but if they get through the other side and they make the adjustments, they're infinitely better fighters for doing so, and that's what's refreshing is the opportunity that you're giving these athletes to go out there and suffer adversity when the lights are on and bright. You don't want to get knocked down for the first time in your MMA career inside the octagon. The same thing with boxing. You don't want to face adversity when you're fighting for a world championship. The first time you get hit hard as in a world championship, you're going to wilt. How important is it for the evolution of these athletes to maybe get them fights where they don't necessarily, maybe they shine towards the end, but they have to, work for it?
Well, Omar was actually on the scorecards. It was very even. He might have even been down by 1 point before he had the knockdown against his opponent. And it's the worst mistake in boxing, in my opinion, is to build a guy with 15-0, 20-0, and then, like you said, then he steps up to a world title fight and he's totally out of his league. So with that model that Dana has implemented in the UFC, it's like when they fight for a world title, Callum Walsh was in a very tough fight against Ishmael Villarreal in his last fight at Madison Square Garden. Very, very tough fight. And he was local. And that's another thing that boxing doesn't do is we'll take Callum Walsh from Ireland and fight a local guy in New York City. And it was a great learning experience for Callum. He went the distance. He had a flash knockdown, his first knockdown of his career, but he'll learn from it. And definitely with Freddie Roach, his Hall of Fame trainer, Callum is looking to shine coming up March 15th for St. Patrick's Day weekend.
Do your peers in the boxing world, Tom, go, why are you taking these unnecessary risks with these young up-and-comers? Do they think you're crazy?
Well, it kind of goes back to the Triple G philosophy where he said he'll fight anyone at the middleweight division, and that's really where Callum's at. And Freddie hasn't turned down an opponent yet. Naturally, you don't want to overmatch a young fighter, but at the same time, you want to match him competitively. They're not always going to win, but it's going to be a learning experience, and that's what the fans appreciate about the boxing on UFC Fight Pass.
Santa Barbara coming up this Friday night, and then they turn it back around to New York City, the theater at Madison Square Garden on March 15th. Is that the plan still to, take the show other places, not just New York? Are you going to try to take the show back to Boston or anything like that moving forward?
We were in Boston last year for St. Patrick's Day, and Dana wants to take Callum to Ireland this year, so we're going to work on the logistics for that one. That one won't be easy, but it'll be a homecoming for Callum, and we're going to focus on these 2 shows now, and then we actually have a date April 20th back at Commerce Casino here for the LA fans. So we're staying busy, the fighters are staying busy, and the fans are definitely reacting to boxing on a UFC platform.
That's amazing stuff. The Irish are definitely trying to look for pre-sale codes for a homecoming right now for Callum Walsh, and obviously some business to take care of on March 15th. Tom Loeffler, the promoter of Hollywood Fight Nights. Again, you can watch it all live and exclusive on UFC Fight Pass. Tom, appreciate the time, sir.
Thank you, TJ. Great seeing you guys.
Good to see you, man.
See you. TJ, we'll see you on Friday at
Yes,
Chumash.
sir. Absolutely.
Thank you.
You can watch it again live on UFC Fight Pass, Tom Loeffler's 360 Promotions. If you are not a boxing fan, I promise you, the action will make you think twice about it, as we always get great shows from Tom and the guys. You're a boxing guy, right? Like John did something with boxing back in the day?
That's how he got into mixed martial arts, really. He did a Mouthpiece boxing show in Boston. That got him in. It's Callum, right? He's been on set with us 3-4 times now. It's amazing how much more comfortable he is right now, owning the place, right? So all these repetitions, as we talk about these fighters and being well-rounded, this kid's being built, and he's going to be a star, already is sort of shining. Love it.
There may be a point where he'll be headlining a UFC card with a boxing fight. Dana White loves boxing. I can see it happening.
Dude, it's the entertainment business, man. Guys in bed with WWE, I'm telling you. Wouldn't shock me.
Absolutely. In the boxing world, they got better entourages than in the MMA world, I think personally. And no entourage would quite be complete without someone like our next guy who's coming on the air with us. I mean, this man embodies alpha male-ism.
Dude, if you could only see him right now, Offset.
My goodness, it is the one and only Chuck Zito. And hey, Chuck, nice to see you again. This is interesting. I've been a mixed martial arts fan for a very long time, and we've seen the sport continue to grow and get more celebrities and more fan interest from all over the world. But you go back 20, 25 years ago and look at these early Zuffa UFCs. You're going to see this man in the crowd.
Yeah.
You were at all of those shows.
I was at UFC 1.
That is insane. I'm honestly surprised you didn't fight in UFC 1.
I actually was trying to fight when they took it over, when the Fertittas took it over. But in the UFC 1 is my instructor, Bill Silva-Wallace, was the commentator,
right,
along with Kathy Long and Jim Brown, if you remember.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was in Denver, Colorado. Yeah. And I was out there for the karate tournament. I went to fight. And I said, well, I'll kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And I've been going to them ever since.
I got scared when he just said, I'll kill. You've led quite a life, Chuck, and it sounds like you're working on a documentary as well.
I'm working on that's why I'm in town right now doing my documentary, and going to do some narration on Monday and putting it all together. It was almost a 10-year project.
Really?
So, yeah, we have so many people in it. And I saw it for the first time Thursday night, and it's coming out really well, man.
What was the motivation to get involved with this project?
Well, I wrote a book in my life story in 2002. Street Justice it was called. And I was actually at the Michael Madsen documentary, and I saw the guy who did it, and I said, "Are you interested in doing one?" He said, "Absolutely. Everybody knows who you are." Well, of course. And that's how it happened. So we've been working on it. It's almost finished.
Yeah?
Yeah, after 10 years.
Had to be emotional Thursday watching some of what they put together.
Yeah, some of it was on to see my mom and my sisters and talking, and because my father back in the day, he was a professional fighter in the 30s and the 40s. He taught me since I was 5 years old, put the gloves on with me. I went to Golden Gloves. I mean, I had my first ring fight at 12 years old at the Southside Boys Club. Went to Golden Gloves 4 times. So he taught me a lot. And he also taught me about, growing up and, having respect and loyalty and everything else. And then, he winds up, my mom and him got divorced when I was 10 years old. So I lost basically my dad. I only saw him on Sundays there. So it was some of that stuff we're bringing back. And we had a lot of 8mm film back in the day.
Yes.
So when it was showing that the other night, it really touched hard, you know. It was pretty wild.
Yeah, we were just talking with Callum Walsh. I don't think Callum knows what film is. That's probably not something that has ever existed in his
He's a good fighter. I went to his last fight at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah. So,
and I'll be going to the next one March 15th.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, you really are not just an MMA fan, but a combat sports fan. Obviously, your roots, you talked about that with your father. Like, where do you draw the line? Anything combat sports?
Well, you know what? I started boxing, like I said. My father taught me at 5 years old. My first ring fight was 12. After seeing, of course, the Green Hornet, Bruce Lee, I wanted to be like Bruce. I went to Aaron Banks Karate Academy and started taking White Crane and Tai Kung Fu. And I've trained in 8 different styles since that. So I've just been in, and I train with, Henzo Gracie back home when I get there.
Right.
He goes, brother, when are you coming back, So I've trained in 8 different styles, and I still train.
That's
and
awesome.
Next month I'll be 71.
It's amazing.
Get out of here, really?
Yeah.
71 years old.
71.
And you're still getting on the
I feel
mats right
great.
now.
Huh?
You're still getting on the mats right now?
I still get on the mats. I still box in the ring. I still everything.
Wow.
I feel like, you know what, I might be 71 in age, but I feel like I'm 30 years old, man.
I mean, it's a state of mind.
I go to the gym. I get on the treadmill, run 2 miles. I hit the bag, the speed bag. I do everything.
Love it.
Now,
I said to a guy actually last week. I said the same thing. I'll be 71. He goes, get out of here. He goes, you look like you're 40. I said, I look that old? He goes, okay, 35.
There you go. There you go. Getting back to your documentary, how much of the film goes into your martial arts life?
It shows when I started doing it. I started doing Cali also stick fighting back in the day. It shows my split kickback, and it's got a lot of the boxing and my martial arts in it also, besides all my personal life.
I mean, when can we expect the public to have access to it?
It's going to be, the premiere is going to be April 30th at the Grumman's Chinese Theater in Hollywood.
Wow.
And then we're going to go to New York and Chicago and Florida and Texas and show it all over the place, and hoping somebody like Netflix or somebody picks it up, Lionsgate or somebody picks it up, and I think you'll have no problem doing it. Because I saw it for the first time, and it actually came out good, man.
Do you have a title for it? Can you share that with us?
It's called Chuck Zito, An American Story.
There you go.
It was actually supposed to be Chuck Zito, American Badass. Ooh. But Michael Madsen used it for his. Michael Madsen, American Badass. I'm saying, why? So we use An American Story.
Tell me a story about UFC 1. Obviously, you've been around combat sports, but UFC 1 was so provocative and it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way.
You got to realize, back in the day, you fought 4 or 5 times that night.
Right.
There was no weight class. There was no rules. There was no rounds. You just couldn't gouge or bite.
Yeah.
You were allowed to pull hair and hit in the balls.
Yep.
And I'm saying, look at these guys, they're crazy. And if you remember Keith Hackney, he fought Yarbrough. Keith Hackney was 185 pounds.
Yeah.
Yarbrough was 620 pounds.
Yeah, wow.
So back in the day, they were doing a lot of grappling. And if you remember Chemo, Chemo fought and Hoist grabbed his
hair, pulled the hair out of his head.
Yeah, pulled it right out.
Yeah.
Saying, wow,
And if you remember, Chemo, he lost the fight to Hoist, but Hoist was so beat up in that fight he had to pull out of the tournament.
Yes.
And Chemo comes back out and does a victory lap.
Yeah.
Pissed everybody off.
So there was if he weren't out, because a lot of guys broke their hand. Keith Hackney broke his hand on Yarborough.
Yeah.
He couldn't come out for the next fight. So there was an alternate. There was always an alternate there. And if you remember, Keith Hackney fought a guy named Joe Son. Remember Joe Son? Meanwhile,
no
he was in jail for murder. He killed,
There's no way you can forget that fight, though.
Got in jail, killed his roommate, too. He killed somebody, go to jail, kill his roommate. That guy was crazy. But if you remember, Keith Hackney was hitting Joe Son, had him by the throat, hit him in the balls about 20 times.
I know.
My balls were hurt. Can we say that here?
Oh, absolutely. You can say whatever you want.
Sometimes, when it's on Howard before he did Sirius, they bleeped me out a lot. So, but we have a couple of good stories in there. When I did Carson Daly, my book came out. He goes, the most riveting book I've ever read. Here he is, Chuck Z. I come out, I'm all jacked up. We sit down, and he goes, well, how can we help you? How come you're not working? And I got up over him. I says, I heard you're looking for a host. He goes, I read his book, He said, don't be scared, but I think I just pissed in my pants. So we're using little clips like that and everything.
That's great.
And there was another one. There was a thing called Celebrity Justice before they came out with TMZ. And the guy gets on, he goes, most actors say they can't get arrested, but this next guy, he gets arrested all the time. So we got little things there.
Yeah, I mean,
but we have fun.
You've led, quite a life, and to be able to share it through film, I mean, that can be incredibly powerful. How much did you learn about yourself telling your own story again for this documentary?
It was something. I did 6 years in prison, 19 different prisons. I did 4 months in a Japanese prison.
Wow.
Then I got extradited back here. And when I got out, I happened to be at Don King, the store, only in Mates broke. I mean, the stretcher broke, and they introduced me to Tom Fontana, who was the producer and writer of Oz. And he came up to me, he goes, you got a great face, do you act? I said, of course. I've never acted before, and I wound up getting on the HBO series Oz. And it was a great show, and I did a lot. The first day we were filming, I happened to be in the cell, we fell asleep. I fell asleep. And I woke up, and I'm looking up, and I saw, I thought I was in prison. I was still in prison. And then the guy comes in, he goes, oh, you're up in 15 minutes. I said, wow. So those experiences, everything I've had is just, I think I lived 5 lifetimes with somebody else, man. All the things I've done is just amazing.
Yeah.
And after seeing my documentary, I said, wow, it's coming out pretty good, man. So a lot of people are going to enjoy it.
That's awesome. I mean, and you're only 35 years old, so you got more. You got a sequel in you, probably, right?
Yeah, I feel good, man. I feel good, but we're doing a lot of things.
How often are you able to get out to these UFCs?
Well, you know what? When they had them in the MGM and
Mandalay,
I went to all of them.
Yeah.
But now they're all over the world. Abu Dhabi, I've missed a lot of them. But
right.
Of course, when they're local. I live in New York, so I flew out here, of course, for this and my documentary. And the next 3 are going to be great. I mean, the next one's in Miami. Yeah. I'm going to that. Yep. I'm going to go to, of course, UFC 300.
Right.
I was in the one in New York when President Trump showed up. It was awesome. It was great. So I try and go to as much as I can. But when it's out, of course, out of the world, and of course in Canada, I'm not allowed in Canada. So they don't let me allowed in Canada. I can't go to Canada. Go figure.
There's 40 some odd UFC weekends a year, so obviously you can't go to all of them. But
no, I can't. I used to go to all of them.
There had to be a time where you had gone to 80% of them.
80%. If you saw me, I was always in the front row.
Yeah,
and back in the day, especially when the Fertittas took it over in Dana, they used to give me 10 front row seats.
Oh, man.
10. I've only used maybe 4, So what I would do with the others, I would go all the way up in the nosebleed section and give tickets to those people, give the other tickets.
I love it.
And that's what I used to do.
Amazing.
That's awesome.
So then, of course, when it got big, because I brought Brown Larson, I brought Mike Tyson, I brought a lot of people, and I was probably one of the first celebrities to ever go there. I think I was, to tell you the truth. And once people saw him then all the Paris Hiltons went there, and Kevin James and everybody went there. And it started getting bigger and bigger. So from my 10, I got 5 front row, 5 fifth row. Then I went to 5 front row. Then I went down to 3. Then I went down to 2. I still get 2.
There you go.
So I went to Dana. I said, Dana, not for nothing. I said, you used to give me 10 front row. He goes, Chuck, back in the day, I could give you 100 front row.
Right.
But now it's just getting it's the biggest thing there is.
Yeah. It is.
Boxing's over. I used to be a big boxing fan. At one time, I could tell you every champion, I don't even know who's fighting anymore.
Callum Walsh.
Well, Callum Walsh, of course. But I'm just saying, back in the day, I could name every champion, every weight class.
Yep.
When they used to have 8 champions. Now they have
it's alphabet soup
every WBA, WBC, WBO, HBO. I mean, they got everything.
No.
There's only one world, but 10 champions.
Right.
It's amazing.
Well, my brother says all the time, there's 15 Super Bowls a year. The Super Bowl and then the 14 UFC pay-per-views, They're bigger than life.
No, 100%.
UFC, I'll tell you what, Dana's did a great job. It's unbelievable. It's the biggest thing there is. And I'm always love being there. And I love being here.
You've seen the sport change so much. You were talking about the early days where you could, kick.
When there wasn't no rounds and you could kick and hit the balls and pull hair.
Right.
The only thing you couldn't do was bite and hook.
Fish hook.
But back in the day, I've seen him hitting the balls, pulling hair, everything. It was crazy back then.
Yeah, I remember a couple fights down in Brazil. You can literally watch the tape where they'll grab the cup and try to move it, and they're vicious back in the day. But it wasn't illegal. It wasn't illegal.
When I was sitting front row and I saw Hackney hit, Joe son the balls like 20 times, and holy shit, that's crazy. I don't care if you get a cup on or not.
Yeah.
That's hurting, the pressure. Boom, boom.
It took 20 for Joe Son to actually let go of him too, because
and Hoist pulling out, Chemo's hair.
Yeah.
Because he had that Genghis Khan thing, whatever you call it. I don't know what they call it. Just a ponytail there.
Yeah.
He pulled it out of his head, man. And it was laying in the. Holy shit.
What do you call that? You had one.
Oh, you're coming to me. Yeah, we cut one at a time.
What is that?
Man bun.
Yeah,
But it's gone now.
It's a different word for it.
So I'm not your authority there anymore.
It's an alpha man bun.
Yeah.
I like that better.
Yeah.
But seeing those fighters, like I said, when there was no rounds, no rules,
If you were in the situation,
and that's what they used to say.
Right?
You would say, there are no rounds, there are no rules. That's what was the main thing.
Real
And
fighting.
that's when Dana and the Fertitas changed it and ran towards regulation, and thank God they did, because
Oh,
we
you
wouldn't
had
have
to.
one.
Come on.
Yeah, we wouldn't have this today if they didn't.
I mean, the thing what happened, I remember when Keith Hackney hit Yarborough, he hit him a rib chance to the throat, and he went down. But he went down like he was like a turtle. He couldn't get up. He was so fat. That's when he jumped on top of him, and he gave him a hammer fist like 20 times. And he broke his hand. So he couldn't come out for the next fight, and he had an alternate. The same when Hoyt got hurt. But back then, you had to fight, 3, 4, 5 times that night.
Man, your memory for the fights is crazy.
I know. Oh yeah, it was.
You remember everything, huh?
It was, yeah. Like I said, I go back a long time, man, and I just, like I said, I happened to be fighting in a karate tournament in Denver, Colorado, and I shouldn't have been there because it was my daughter's birthday. It was November 12th, 1993. I was there, but I had a fight, and then I went to the UFC, of course, and Bill Wallace, which of course he only announced it once because he was calling the cage a ring.
Yeah.
He was doing this, he was doing that.
Yeah. I mean, I think he burped into the microphone. That's the first thing he did.
Yes.
Welcome
He
to
goes,
the Eagles
excuse me.
Arena. Excuse me. And I think
Right, you're right.
He called it the Ultimate Fighting Challenge as well.
Challenge.
You know?
He called it a boxing ring. And
Right,
They said, I think we got to get rid of this guy. But meanwhile, he was the baddest martial artist.
Absolutely.
23 times kickboxing champion of the world.
Wow.
Middleweight. And still had the fastest foot in the world, 72 miles an hour.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
To be fair, no one had ever seen MMA before, so Octagon wasn't top of mind. You know what I mean? I'm sure you've forgotten some fights that you've had over the years, and maybe fights you can't talk about. But you talk about guys breaking their hands. Like in real world situations, Chuck, it's not smart to throw punches in the street, right? If you, as a martial artist,
it's not right to hit a guy on top of the head.
Right.
That's what happened with the other guy.
Yeah, so I'm just
I
curious.
know what you're bringing up.
No.
That was 25 years ago.
No, I'm not bringing that up.
But I hit him on top of the head and broke my hand. That's the scar from it right there.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, that's the scar.
How many bones were broken?
The crazy thing about it, this happened on a Thursday night, right? It scores. Monday, I start Oz for the first time. So I couldn't get a cast because I would have lost the job. So I couldn't put a cast on. So in the paper the next day, and of course Howard, you hear the guy who bitch slapped Jean-Claude last night? We got to get get him on the show. Then it had the front page. He had a bicep pose that says Jean-Claude Van Slam. And then it had, I didn't work yet on Oz yet, right? HBO. In the paper it said Chuck Zito, star of Oz.
Oh, goodness.
I said, I'm going to get arrested. I'm going to get fired, right? So when I went there Monday, like I said, I couldn't get a cast because I would have lost the job. As soon as I walked in, Tom Fontana, who's the writer and director and the producer, he goes, I read the paper. I said, fuck myself. He's going to fire me, man. He goes, couldn't you hit this guy when the show aired?
Right, the publicity,
Not for nothing. I got so much publicity, and I felt bad for somebody else's misfortune. And that's what happened. Finally, after 17 years, we became friends again. So after it happened,
fighting usually brings people closer together in the end.
Yeah, well, we had our outs for 17 years, and in fact, I was at the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight, and Mayweather came out, said hello to his family, came over to me next, and he hugged me, and everybody saw this on national TV, and Jean-Claude was there. He said, "That Chuck Zito?" To his daughter. Yes. Invite him to my premiere. So I went to his premiere, and we finally squashed things after 17 years.
That's a great story.
And we're still friends to this day.
That's a good story.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Chuck, I appreciate you stopping by and
thank you for having
sharing
me.
some
Always
stories.
a pleasure.
And enjoy the UFC tonight, man.
Oh, I'm going to. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Keep asking for 10 tickets. You never know when they might just say yes. You know what I mean?
Back in the day, like I said, I did ask. I said, what happened? I used to get 10. Back in the day, I was able to give you 100.
Right. Yeah. Well, nowadays, what would 10 front row seats be? Like,
oh, forget about it.
$100,000 at some cities,
like
you know?
10 grand each.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So I'm lucky to get my 2.
Yeah.
So still to this day.
You got
Thank
better
you
seats
guys.
than me, Chuck.
Thank you so much, man. Enjoy. Pleasure.
Thank you, sir.
Always
Appreciate
a
it,
pleasure.
sir. Thanks,
Thank
Chuck.
you so much.
There he is, Chuck Zito, kind enough
Ciao.
to join us. Look for his documentary. That's going to be a phenomenal story chronicling his life. And, man, Chuck Zito stopping by in extra rounds. I get excited.
I can just listen to him tell the stories, the old school stories, and it's memories. Crazy.
Yeah.
Right? He remembers everything.
Not just physically, sharp as a tack.
Absolutely, 100%. And, man, I'm not kidding. Like, literally every UFC pay-per-view back in the day, Chuck, you could see him on, like, the camera. He was always there reacting to the fights. And, like, it was – there were certain – like, you know how you, like, do drinking games, you know what I mean, when, like, things happen over and over again?
Yeah.
Take a shot when you see Chuck Zito because you know it's going to happen. So, oh, man, where are we at here? I'm looking at the time, 2:30. We're getting ready for UFC 298 coming up tonight inside the Honda Center here in Anaheim, California. I'm TJ DeSantis, Jason Anik, Bilal Muhammad. They host a show called Remember the Show, and I think we're going to actually welcome some fans into our little bubble here a little bit later on and talk little games, maybe give away some prizes. We've got MMA trivia. We got the guessing game when it comes to images as well. So if you are around here, stay close. You could win some stuff from us. But we have not even gotten to a good chunk of this card coming up tonight. We've got a phenomenal bantamweight fight as Merab Dvalishvili takes on the former champ Henry Cejudo, Triple C. Man, this is an exciting fight for a variety of reasons. This division has changed so much over the last year, coming up on a year. You know, even going back to when Aljo had his last successful title defense, it was against Henry Cejudo in a fight that was very close. I think it was a split decision. And Cejudo, who had been out of the game, you know, I didn't know exactly what we were going to expect from his return. And he gave Aljo everything that he could on that night. Didn't get the win. He comes back tonight to take on Aljo's teammate in Dvalishvili, and it's an interesting matchup. I'm curious, Jason, in your mind, do you feel Aljo's experience with Cejudo informs the approach of Merab tonight here in Anaheim?
I don't see how it cannot, to some extent. But I do think it's a very different matchup. I think Aljo and Merab are very different fighters in a lot of ways. So for me, when I look at this matchup, when it was first announced, and I think about Cejudo as an athlete, and I think about his prowess over the years, and the retirement thing, his performance against Aljo almost sort of wiped those 3 years away for me. But a guy like Merab in a 3-round fight, when I imagine these guys fighting for 3 rounds, it's very difficult for me to envision a way in which Henry Cejudo emerges victorious. He also did bring up a sort of retiring again, which I don't know how I feel about that. But I'm certainly, I think Aljo and Merab, as close as brothers, there's no doubt in my mind that him being in there with him is going to help Merab. But I'm not sure how much help Merab needed. I originally liked Cejudo in this matchup. I don't know if I feel the same way now. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I just think that, you know, for a guy like Henry, who's had 1 fight in 3 years, it's a bad matchup to fight a guy like Merab, who's a machine, who's going to come at you nonstop. To fight a guy like Merab, you got to have that ring time. You got to be comfortable in there. And, you know, I know when he fought Aljo, he had moments in there where he didn't look comfortable, right? Where Aljo took him down a couple times. But a guy like Merab is going to shoot on you 25, 30 times and not get tired at all, especially in a 3-round fight. You're going to have some points where you're looking at, man, I should have stayed retired. Like, how is this guy still going? And Henry, who likes to slow stuff down, he likes to go at his own pace. Merab, when we saw him against Peter Yan, he looked amazing. He had a pace that Peter Yan had never seen before. We've never seen anybody beat up Peter Yan like that. And I think he's going to try to do that same type of thing against Cejudo, who is an Olympic champion, but there's no punches in the Olympics. There's no, kicks at you, spinning kicks, and then shooting, then taking you down, then popping right back up, then shooting at you again, then hitting you again. And, yeah, I mean, this is going to be a tough night for a guy like Cejudo talking about retirement again.
Yeah, you know, we all know Triple C, and he's known for that level of cringe. There's another C that I'm curious about. We've alluded to it, and that is commitment. You know, where is the commitment in all of this? And if you are not committed to being the best you can be, and we all know how good Cejudo can be on, you know, when all cylinders are firing, you have to be perfect against a guy like Rob Dvalishvili, who is just a bit unorthodox in the way that he approaches things, which I think makes him more dangerous. He can throw with reckless abandon because more often than not, you're not fighting Olympic gold medalist in wrestling. He's not going to get taken down if he gets overzealous. That could be the X factor here in this fight. If Cejudo does have a path to victory, maybe it's putting Merab on his back. But the way that Merab, we were talking about how comfortable Volkanovski is in his own skin when people are saying, you know, maybe you're more fallible because you're old, etc. I feel like Merab is so comfortable in who he is. He's this showman, man. He doesn't speak English as his first language, and he's funnier than most English-speaking fighters.
Well, and that's great stuff. And I did agree with you that may be Cejudo's path to victory if there was one. But a 15-minute fight against Merab Dvalishvili, the amount of energy Merab has to get up from that spot if he needs to, if he finds himself underneath Cejudo, I can't imagine him staying there long. But Merab is a really interesting fighter, and sort of being in that shadow of Aljo forever. Merab, he loses the 2 first fights of his UFC career, then he's won 9 straight, but only 1 finish. You know, so it's not as if he's getting people out of there all the time. It's just very difficult for me to envision Cejudo's path to victory. Now, during Cejudo's prime several years ago, I'm not sure I'd feel the same way about this fight.
Yeah, if I'm looking for Cejudo's path to victory, we've seen Merab get rocked, right? Marlon Moraes dropped him early. We've seen him. He has openings in his striking because he is so wild. He is unorthodox. And the same way with Aljo against Sean O'Malley, if Cejudo is patient, he waits for that one shot, it could be there. But even with Cejudo, he doesn't have that one-punch knockout power like you know, a guy like Sean O'Malley. But I think Cejudo, he's very smart with his training. We've seen him say, I changed up my coaching. I did this. I changed a lot of things. I'm going all in right here. And maybe that all-in mentality tells you, all right, he's going to come at you full force. And, you know, he put it all into the camp. He put it all on the line right now. And maybe that's going to give him that extra power, that extra strength is to finish Merab.
You know, there was some hay made about Henry finding a new coaching staff. And he let his longtime coach Eric go, and it was on camera in the way that he did it. Was that real?
Apparently not, right?
I haven't heard definitively one way or the other.
They're weird with the way they're talking about it, right?
Yeah.
Because
well, it's awkward enough that I feel like it could be real.
Yeah, like it could be real. Then he got backlash, and then he's like, "Oh, you know what? Let's just say it was a joke."
But that's what I'm saying. Was it really a joke?
Exactly, because we haven't seen them train together, and Eric was in Brazil the whole time. He said training with Costa and Pitbull, so he wasn't doing anything for Cejudo's camp. So if I am Cejudo, and you know you weren't with me this whole camp, why would I want to put you in my corner? But maybe he does feel the pressure now that maybe he thought it was going to be get a different reaction when he said he put him on. Like, oh man, Cejudo's all in. He fired Eric. They've been together this whole time. But then people started, you know, going against him. So maybe he's like, all right, yo, we got to switch this up. We'll say it was a joke. Yada yada yada. 'Cause even when Cejudo talks about it, it's just they don't look like they're on the same line with the story.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see mentally where Henry's at. And again, I think the 4th C is a lot that is up for question and debate, and it's his commitment to the game.
So if Merab emerges victorious, is it? I'd love to say that it's a slam dunk that he's going to get a title shot. There's a lot. That division is not so clear. I don't think it's a slam dunk. Sandhagen's out there. What do you think?
Yeah, I saw Sandhagen earlier today, and I was like, "What's going on? How's your injury? Are you back?" And he's like, "Yeah, you know, I'm coming back. I'm just going to see what's next." And I was like, "Oh, you're not getting the guaranteed title shot?" Yeah, he's like, "You never know. We'll see what happens with this weekend with this fight." And I think for Merab to get the title fight, it needs to be a statement. You know, you're going against the Olympic champion, Triple C. If he goes out there and finishes him, I think that puts a stamp on it. But if he goes out there and, you know, people are always picking and choosing what they want, and you got to make Sean O'Malley say, all right, this is the guy I need to fight. This is the guy I want to fight. And the only way to get that is by finishing Henry Cejudo.
We'll see what happens tonight.
Can't wait.
Who does it favor more that it's not a 5-round fight?
I think
Don't worry.
favors Cejudo.
Can you get my odds?
Yeah,
like my paper left. My odds.
I don't want to see
the odds,
Merab
the odds sheet
in 5 rounds, because that's the 4th and 5th round is where, you know, people start getting a little bit tired. And a guy like Cejudo who does have hard weight cuts, right? He's not a natural 125 pounder. I don't want to go into those 4th, 5th rounds. If it's 3 rounds, all right, now I could change my game plan a little bit. I could turn on the gas a little bit more if I'm Cejudo because I know I only have 2 more rounds after the first.
I ask you a question, producer Steve over there is like, this guy needs to get to the trivia. What is he doing? What I was doing is I needed to try to get this because I need to tell everyone about DraftKings, who are the reason that we are here for extra rounds. Take a look at our odds. You can bet right now over at DraftKings Sportsbook. It is the official sports betting partner of the UFC. Right now, new customers get a no-sweat bet up to $1,000 if your first bet misses. Download the app, use code FIGHTPASS when you sign up, and claim your no-sweat bet now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for what I think kids call a collab in the business. It's Extra Rounds. It's Belal Muhammad. It's Jason Anik. It's also Remember the Show. Remember the Show.
Oh, I love it. Welcome to Remember the Show. I'm glad we got some people filling up right now. Yeah, that's Belal Muhammad's baby. For those of you who don't know, Remember the Show. So we're going to get some fans involved, I think, pretty quickly out of the gate here, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, do you guys want to explain what we're doing here with this amalgamation of faces? I don't...
Okay, so, you know, imagine 2 fighters had a baby, put them together. This would be this fighter. So if you guys ever seen the show, every Thursday we're on YouTube, Anaheim podcast page. We play a game show, right? So now it's a chance for the fans to win some prizes. We have T-shirts, we have posters, and if there's one fan that goes out here, goes all in, kills it, I'm gonna give you a UFC gym bag.
Really?
Only fighters get that bag.
Dang.
So if there's that one fan out here that's really smart, you have a chance to win something huge.
It's pretty awesome. All right. Let's see if we can get Riley, our guy's going to get a fan to come up here. Just Remember the Show. Part of Extra Rounds. You're live at the UFC Fan Experience in Anaheim.
How's it going?
How you doing, man?
Frank.
Frank, nice to meet you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Well, have you ever saw the show before?
You have, yeah. Big fan of the Anik Florian podcast and Remember the Show.
Dang, perfect. Thank you, brother. All right, well, let's see how good you really are. Have you ever watched it and was like, oh, I can kill that. These guys suck.
Sometimes, but I don't know. I'm a little nervous now, so we're going to see. See how I perform under pressure.
All right, so you're going to have to look at that television over there. By the way, that's Huntington Beach here in Orange County. Beautiful place. I'll never be able to live there. And here's your first face. I don't know the answer to these guys, so.
I don't either. There's 2 fighter faces. You got to tell me which 2 fighters those are.
All right, I'm going to go Alexander Volkanovski, and that's a tough one.
Yeah, that's
Whitaker, maybe? I don't know.
See, I went a little harder with this one.
Is he wrong?
It's all right.
It was a good guess. But you know, we'll give him a trivia question. We'll keep this one up for. I won't tell you who this one is. I'll see if anybody figures it out.
You want another one?
Yeah, we'll give you one more.
All right, here we go.
What is that?
All right, we got Dan Hooker. Is that Bam Bam Tuivasa? No?
Too quick.
Come on, bro. I thought that was an easy one.
Dan Hooker and who?
So is Franco for 2?
I am 0 for 2.
Are we going to give him 3 strikes and he's out?
All right, we'll give you one more.
All right. Oh, all right. We got Aspinall. Oh, jeez. Is that Pohatan? Alex Pereira? No? Oh, over 3, struck out.
Dang.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
I'll give you one of these. Thanks for coming. Thanks for trying. Keep watching the show, bro. Thank you, man. Have a good one.
So we still have 3 faces in play for our next... No, we're going to. We haven't given the answer yet, so 3 faces in play. We want to start back at the top, or what do we want to do?
We can go back at the top. We can see until one of these guys get it.
Bro, you might need to give me some hints. These are tough.
I have no idea.
What's up, bro? How you doing?
Nice to meet you, man.
What's up, bud? Nice to meet you, too.
All right, we'll go back to the face here. Let's press this button. Here we go.
All right, bro. You got the game?
2 fighters, so it's
Oh.
Aspinall and who?
on, Chuck, you got it? You know what it is?
Aspinall and who's that, man? Cejudo.
Is that your final answer?
Yep.
That's your final answer? Did you phone a friend who yelled it for the crowd?
Whoever, God bless you.
Is he right?
You got it.
I did it.
Okay.
All right, so that's one. We need one more, right? Before he wins something?
You need one more before you win something.
Back to the
Oh, that's Volkanovski and...
I mean, clearly ask a friend around the perimeter.
Come on, bro. I'll give you one. You want a hint?
Yeah.
I'll give you one hint. This guy is a bantamweight.
Oh, Cody Garbrandt.
That's your final answer?
Yep.
Are you sure you're going to listen to
That, I know who it is, yep.
For the people yelling in the crowd, he's going to win all the prizes.
Who's getting that gym back?
He's going to win all the prizes for you guys.
Is he right?
Yep.
There we go.
And I did it.
Perfect. You win.
All right, you got 2 for 2. You
Hey.
got a sweater.
All right, let's go. That's it.
You also get a signed picture.
Let's
brother.
go, man. Hey, thank you, guys, man. That was fun.
Thank you, brother.
Appreciate it, man.
Have a good one, man.
Good to meet you, bro.
Hell yeah.
That's a consolation prize because I didn't win the big prize 49ers a couple weeks back.
I didn't want to come at him. I don't know if it hurt him a little bit.
All right, who's up next? I think Chuck Zito over here could actually run the board. He's not allowed. He's disqualified.
What's up, man? How you doing?
What's your name? What's your name?
Alex.
Alex, you get the game show? You know what we're doing here? All right, well, let's see how smart
Alex
you
is a stone cold killer. He's up here on a mission. All right.
Yo, put it on the screen.
Hold on. Here we go.
Holloway Hooker.
No hesitation.
I did it.
Let's go.
All right. Nice. One for
He
one.
is ready. Okay.
And-
We may have to give him a challenge. Oh, this is a good one.
Oh, we already have this one. Hang on. You don't get that one.
Right.
There we go. Oh, I know this one.
Merab Cheeto.
And I did it.
Hey,
Boom. 2 for 2.
this guy is good.
So, what are we going to do? We keep going? See if we can get this gym back?
Yeah.
Let's get one more. Let's get one more.
All right. Let's go. Here we go.
Oh, God.
What is that?
Pereira. I have no idea.
Yeah, you got 3 seconds. 3,
Pereira.
2, 1.
Whaley.
And come on, bro. The gym bag was in your hands.
I don't know.
You had it. You're about to take it to school. And you blew it. Dude, that was an easy one.
Dude, I thought maybe. I
thought that was a good one.
Oh, that is a good one.
Sorry,
is
buddy.
it? Cyborg?
I can't tell you who it is. We have to wait for
You
the
get a hoodie, though.
But you got 2. You get yourself a sweater. Thanks, bro. Thanks for coming on.
On a day you actually need a hoodie in Southern California.
That was a good one. We got to see if anybody
Yeah, no,
catch
that is
one.
good.
Following more fans here through our UFC fan experience. It's extra rounds with Remember the Show. The kids do call us a collab, right?
Yeah, we just got to
collab.
That's a new age terminology. What's up, brother? How you doing?
What's up, man? Welcome, man.
Here we go.
Wait, is that yourself on your shirt?
That is me on my shirt.
I like it.
It's for my show. Now listen, go easy on me because everything I just saw was really hard.
That's all right. We'll give you a nice plug for your show before you get out of here.
There we go. And I like the haircut, man.
Thanks, brother.
Yep.
All right.
2 fighter faces here.
We got Alex Pereira and my goodness.
Oh, he's not looking at the face. It's like he knows it. He
No,
just
I just don't remember the name. He just fought a few cards ago.
3.
Dude, skip it, pass it, because I can't remember his name.
What do you think, pass?
Okay, I got it wrong.
The Wheel of Fortune, bro. Remember the show. Pass.
You know what? Yeah.
All right, we'll let you try another one.
Okay, perfect. It just got harder. It's supposed to get easier here.
Oh, man, this is a good one. This
We
is
got.
an old school
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Dude, we.
This is a hard one.
This is a hard one. Yep,
I'll give you a hint. They're both white.
I can see that.
Dude, it's like you got to look at the eyes, maybe start from the eyes.
Start from the eyes.
It's in the eyes, Chico.
All right, so
Yeah,
you went past.
the eyes aren't doing anything for me.
Come on, bro.
Let's go for the third strike.
You get yourself, where did the marker go?
I got you. What'd you drop?
The marker.
Your pen?
You gotta tell me who the third one was, though.
You'll hear it once somebody else calls.
Nobody's gonna get it.
Can we let him have one more shot here?
All right, we'll give you one more shot. Oh, this is a good one.
We got.
This is a good one. But I'm getting your Constellation Prize ready because I don't think you're going to get it.
Is that Kevin Holland's hair?
Could be.
Could be.
Could be.
I love it.
You're right, I'm not going to get it, but it does look like Kevin Holland's hair.
Come on, bro. Thank you for coming on, man.
Hey, I appreciate you guys. It's been fun, man. I appreciate you.
Cool, man.
We didn't get that show plug.
Here? Yeah, he got it wrong. He didn't get no right. He didn't have a guess.
Bilal's bringing the heat today. These are hard.
I said I'm not playing. It wasn't easy. Like, you know.
I mean, the gym bag's a real prize. You know what I mean?
I'm not just
It's
going to
make
give that
people
away
work.
to
Yeah,
somebody.
I get it.
I earned that by fighting.
Right.
Okay, Young LA, let's go. What's up, brother? How you doing?
What's up, buddy? Good to meet you, man.
This guy's pretty wide. I think he goes to the gym.
How you feeling, bro?
Pretty good, brother.
What's your name?
Michael.
Michael? Okay.
Is your last name Kelsey?
Collins.
Oh, okay.
I got the Kelsey cut, though.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, looks good. I think.
You understand the show? You've been watching? You've been looking at us?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's see how smart you are, bro.
Right.
Two
That's
fighters.
Kevin Holland in DC.
That's your final answer? Did you
Yes,
just hear
sir.
it from the crowd?
I didn't hear it,
You're
no.
trusting it?
I have trouble hearing, actually.
Oh, really?
They get it? Oh,
Ding,
nice.
ding, ding. Let's go. Okay.
They did it.
We may have a chance. We got
All right.
one right.
All right, so
There we
far,
go, there
so
we go.
good.
Somebody back here is a genius.
All right, next one.
Oh, this one, I don't think you get this one.
This one's hard.
Glover Teixeira and Conor McGregor, I don't know.
That's your guess?
The only thing I can think of.
Not a terrible guess. But
Honestly, I couldn't think of anything.
I can see that, to be honest with you.
I can see it a little bit. Kind of looks like Volk a little bit, too.
Could be.
But you're wrong, though. Sorry, bro.
Yeah.
All right, we'll give you one more.
Shavkat and Alex Pereira.
Finally, somebody got that one.
I feel like you should get a prize for just getting that one.
Yeah, you can get that one. You get a shirt for that one.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, brother.
All right,
Appreciate you, man. Yeah, for sure. Thank you, man.
Take care. You guys need to do like a rivalry week where it's like Connor and Jose Aldo. You know what I mean? Like,
Ooh, that'd be
yeah.
a good one. Now you just gave us a good idea.
Yeah.
But now you just put it out there, so
That's
now
the
people
only
are
one
gonna
I've
know.
ever had, though. So. You know.
What's up, man? There goes a rivalry right there. McGregor and
right?
Mayweather.
John, first up.
There you go.
Screw all the haters, man. You're here forever.
There you go.
Actually, with respect, I'm not, because I'm not John, but that's all right. You'll
I know,
find
but
out
it's cool.
later.
Oh, my bad.
That's all right.
John has hair.
Give this guy,
The hair.
give this dude the toughest one you got.
You already got the wrong.
Oh, man. All right, let's go. You got me.
All right, here we go.
Oh, shit.
Bro, this one might need some hint. This one's tough.
I'll give you one person.
Man, it looks like Ari Shafir.
I'll give you one person. One of the people in this picture is Michael Chandler.
That's a hell of a hint.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is tell me the other person, bro.
Chandler and Rakhmanovich.
Bro, that's your guess? Bro, do you even watch fighting?
Yeah,
Come on,
man. I'm
All right.
choking up here.
WEC veteran.
Ooh, that's a good one. I'll give you another hint. He's a bull rider.
Oh, all right. Cerrone.
All right.
Good job.
Finally. Finally, somebody got this one. I will give you another one.
All right, that's Kevin Holland and Cormier.
We got that one
Oh,
already.
yeah,
Oh, we got that one? All
That's
right.
DC.
Hold on, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's
Dude,
Oh,
come
wow.
on. You know that beard. That beard.
Oh, I know the beard.
So that the one dude you gotta know.
Yeah.
And if this guy was here today, something tells me his extremities would be rather warm.
Oh, man.
3, 2.
Anthony Davis now.
What? What?
I'll choke him,
Sorry,
man.
brother.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Bilal.
brother. No, you that's all right.
A good one.
Thank you, brother. You're all right, man.
That's all right. You still get the Belal Muhammad signed poster, all right?
That's the biggest prize you can get.
All right, who do we got?
Come on, where are the fans at?
There we go.
I was about to say, where's our first female?
Oh, yes, I'm glad. We met her. This is her first UFC event. Welcome up.
Hi there.
How you doing?
I'm
Welcome.
great, thank you. My first live UFC event.
Oh, perfect.
I'm traveling here from Georgia.
Nice.
So I'm not trying to embarrass myself, y'all.
Did you come all the way here for the UFC?
No, I'm visiting my parents.
Okay.
And when I heard UFC 298 was here in Anaheim, I said, I need to borrow your car, Mom.
There you go. There you go. Awesome.
Yeah. So I'd also need Dana to hear me and say, bring UFC back to Atlanta, please. Okay.
Preach.
I don't really know about going back to Atlanta, but all right. Well,
Come on now, come on.
What's wrong with the ATL?
Yes.
All right, here we go. No, I already have that one.
Oh.
Man, I see. That's the thing. I haven't listed these
Yes.
because you didn't tell me the answers, so they're just like random numbers. No. Eventually,
last one. The last one
we're gonna
we
get to
read.
one.
Oh, here we go.
I'm going to need some help, y'all.
This is all you. This is your first event. Let's go. Confidence.
I think it's Taporia.
And?
And can I phone a friend?
Well, let's think about this. There's a belt on their right shoulder, so they were a champion.
Wait. Volk? No.
I don't want to do it to you, but
No. She said it. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, we had a buzz here.
That's okay. I am happy to be buzzed.
Okay. Maybe we'll give you another one. We'll give you another one.
Oh my gosh.
How about we get an easier one?
I truly need help, everyone. Please.
All right, so we're gonna change it up on you. We're like 5 minutes from Disneyland. Who is this UFC fighter in their Disney form?
That's you.
Good job. Good
Yes.
job.
With that gold, baby. Holding that gold, right?
There we go.
All right, you can
Got it.
it's your turn.
Thank you.
Good luck at your first event.
She's not even in the building yet. She already has the official event T-shirt. Doing it right.
This is our first event to come to, right?
Yeah.
Taporia, Volk.
My first UFC pay-per-view was in this
Bulls,
building.
Let's go.
So.
Hey, buddy. Good to meet you, man. My brother John, maybe, but hey, so you know your boy Bully from Chicago. You from Chicago? God love that.
From Chicago? Let's go. All right, now we got to take it easy on him.
Should we give him a Disney character?
Let's go Disney character.
We can go Disney character. All right, let's do this one.
Bruce Buffer.
There we go.
Oh, okay, those are easy.
All right.
This kid knows his stuff.
Dude, that's a good look. Bruce looks good.
Should we give him another one?
Let's go another one.
Oh man, these are tough. I don't know if we got another one that's easier. All right.
Nah, he's ready. He got a Jordan jersey on.
It's true. He's ready for greatness. Tell us who this Ultimate Fighter Season 1 winner is.
Come on, bro.
Season 1.
Forrest Griffin.
I did it.
I'm not taking it easy on him anymore.
Dude, no.
Dang. All right.
All right.
Here we
Turn it
go.
up. Turn it up.
Let's go. How about this one?
Ooh.
Tito Ortiz.
And I did it.
Come on, let's go.
All right.
You ever watch Tito Ortiz fight?
Yeah.
Look at you, this kid. All right, student of the game.
All right. This one. I say if he gets this one, he should get the gym bag.
Let's go.
You ready?
He's from Chicago. Be able to pick it up.
All right. Here we go.
Ooh.
It's not a fighter. Just read it. Read his chest. He's the blank guy. Just no.
Come on.
Just bleed. He said bleed. He did it. Yeah.
And I did it.
I think he wins.
Yeah, I do too.
You win, bro. You win. You just went for wearing the Bulls jersey.
Exactly.
Favoritism can be a great thing when it works out in your
Yeah,
favor.
100%.
Great job.
It's your brother.
All right. I've got some trivia too. If we want to use some trivia.
Let's go.
Yeah,
We
let's
got another
go.
girl that wants to come on. Try it out. What's up, man?
What's up, buddy? Nice to meet you.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
I just want to say for the record, bro, you don't deserve the hate that you get online.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man.
Like, you're a nice guy and all. Like, you win, you get this, like, it's whatever, you know?
I like this kid.
Very-
We gotta put him on the podcast.
Most people won't get in the octagon with you, you know what I'm saying?
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, kid, now you got the microphone. What do you got to
Yes,
say?
sir. I don't know. Honor being here.
What'd you just say to Belal?
Yeah, I think Belal doesn't get the hate he gets online, you know. Like, this guy's a nice guy. I'm sure the people that hate on him won't step into the octagon with him at all, you know. Like,
let's
you know,
go, bro.
Yeah, you're my guy, man. All right.
Let's make him answer one question. We got a trivia question.
Awesome. I'm ready.
All right. UFC 59 was titled Reality Check. It was held in this building. At Reality Check, a tough guy, quote unquote, faced a former UFC light heavyweight champion.
Light heavyweight champion. Former light heavyweight. Ooh,
If you can get one of
man.
these athletes correct.
And
God.
he probably was pretty young.
Oh, wow. Man, that's before my time, man.
Yeah,
Come
man.
on, Can I get a hint to the champ? Is that John Jones? Was it? Who was the light heavyweight champ at the time?
Well, he
UFC?
wasn't the champion at the time. He was a former champion.
Former champion at the time.
Taking on the Ultimate Fighter champion.
Ultimate Fighter. Interesting. Man.
Come on, anybody know the answer?
Hey, can y'all go back to the AI generated pictures?
Maybe we can find one. Let's see here. Let's go back to this here and this.
All right.
Is that Gaethje?
That's the Just Bleed guy.
No, that's just the Just Bleed guy.
probably
Hang
pretty
on,
good
let's see if we
guess,
got another one. That's
Oh.
Jason Anik.
No! I thought that looked like the dude from Moana. That looked like...
Oh, man. Oh, I could have.
Yeah, that one.
What was that?
All right,
Ilya and.
all right, here we go. We're going a little old school.
Oh!
Damn.
Ooh. Oh, we're missing him on set today, huh?
Here we are.
Oh, wow. Man.
Come on, bro. It's a legend.
You were
Legend.
not living. You were definitely
He was
not
not,
living.
no.
Man. I really have no clue. The mustache is crazy.
It's a great mustache.
Great mustache.
That's
yeah.
mustache, bro.
Man.
All right.
I hate to disappoint you guys, man.
This was the guy that you couldn't think of that fought the former champion at UFC 59.
Oh, wow.
Come on, bro.
That's crazy.
I'm trying to give you a layup here.
Oh my God. Man.
When you go out in nature and there's a bunch of trees, it's the full. No?
I'm sorry, man. I hate to let you down, man.
Hey, the chest hair give it away.
You didn't let us down, man. You won the Ultimate Fighter.
Run,
blank, run.
That movie, what year were you born?
2005.
Exactly, bro. He's born
Please
10 years
please-
after
yeah.
that.
Okay.
This is the champion that he fought.
Oh, man. Oh, give me a hint, guys. Give me a hint. Tito. That's Tito? There's no.
Disneyland Tito, bro.
Oh man. I'm
And the other guy was
disappointed. I'm
Forrest
disappointed.
Griffin. Come on, man.
Oh, Forrest. Oh man.
Bro,
Oh man.
you had
I'm
your
sorry,
chance in the
guys.
spotlight.
That's
You're
disappointing.
good, man. No, you
Yeah.
Bro, man.
Hey,
Appreciate
it's a
you,
pleasure.
man.
It's a
Thank you,
pleasure.
man.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Yeah.
Good to meet you, man.
Yeah, you too.
Hey, no disappointment when he comes up the set talking the right words about my boy. No,
that's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, got another one?
Let's go. Somebody said it's easy. Come and test your luck.
Yeah. Get the big guy. All right, yeah, he's next. What's up, buddy?
man? How you doing? You put that
What's up,
up.
bud? Throw on a headset. All right, I'm asking these young kids. What year were you born?
2005.
All these
Oh,
cats,
man.
So we just gotta know. We
you
just
guys
gotta
do,
know.
bro?
The Ultimate Fighter came out when you were born.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
We're asking these kids to pick out Don Fry. Was born in 2005.
Yeah. All right. Let's get another. Let's not do that one. Let's do. How about? Hang on. We're gonna find it. No. All right. No, that's gonna be too hard too. All right. An early UFC champion, this man sold a lot of memberships to his family's jiu-jitsu academy in Torrance, California. It was the birthplace of Brazilian jiu-jitsu in these United States. Who was it?
Would that be one of the Gracies, Hoyt's Gracies?
I did it.
Good job.
Yeah.
Nice.
Let's go. Let's get those
That's a good one. That's a good one. Let's see if we can get another one here. All right, top of my head. The first ever UFC card that was headlined by women, and it was the first ever women's fight in the UFC, took place in this building. Who fought in the fight?
Oh, geez. In this building? Well, I'm going off that. I know Jones fought DC here the first time. Or no, the second time when he...
No, women.
Yeah, true. I don't know. 200?
200? What? No.
Oh, no, that was Rousey. That was Rousey.
Good.
That was Rousey.
Yeah. I mean, that's a half win.
Yeah.
Rousey versus?
Holly Holm?
No. I'm going to pretend you didn't say that.
Tate.
Nope.
First ever women's fight?
Her first name is Liz.
I don't even know.
That's okay. You don't. That's okay.
Hey.
Bro, it's all good. You got the first question right. You're fine,
We'll give you
man.
a T-shirt. We'll give him a shirt,
You get
right?
a T-shirt, bro.
You get a hoodie.
I'll give you a picture,
Appreciate
bro.
that. Appreciate that. Thanks, Belal.
Appreciate you, brother. How
Yeah.
you doing?
If you need a backup trivia question, I got one.
Let's do it.
All right.
Oh, my brother. Thank you, brother.
No, this one, I'm not gonna even ask this question of a fan. I'm gonna ask you two guys.
Okay.
And I'm gonna do it now. But prior, I don't know, we'll wait till the end. This is way too hard for a fan, so I'm just gonna wait. But
Okay.
you'll probably know.
It's actually like a backhanded compliment.
What's up, buddy?
What's up, man?
How you doing?
Hey,
man?
I'm
You
doing
were
good.
standing over there all confidently, like you guys knew all the answers to everything.
I knew some of the answers before, so I hope I don't let myself down now.
All right, let's see what we got here. He's not the Huntington Beach bad boy, but this Huntington Beach resident's nickname shares a name with a military vehicle. Who are we talking about?
Tank Albert?
Oh,
Yes!
I knew it. Yeah.
Good job.
Looking like he didn't know, he knew it.
All right.
Okay.
Let's see if we can get another
We
one.
also
here.
have usually a category that we have in our game show. It's called Nickname Game.
Okay.
So, obviously, you know all the fighters on this card. So, I'm going to tell you the fighter. You got to tell me what their nickname is.
Shit, man.
Bro, you're here. You already know. I'll give you an easy one. Ilya Tuporia. What's his nickname?
Who?
Ilya Tuporia. Main event?
Nickname. I don't know, man.
Come on, bro. El Matador. Come on. You guys know the answer?
It's like the price is right. You got to call on the people in the crowd.
Well, you got that first question was hard, bro. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Is your wife going to try it out, or? Let's go. She was laughing at you that you got it wrong.
Oh my goodness, y'all take it now this time. We already know the prices over there.
How you doing?
I think you should get
I came here just to see TJ.
Nice.
That
Do you
was-
not recognize me?
No.
Invicta?
two other locations where you can grab a drink.
Oh my God, Jess! How are you?
Good, how are you?
I can't recognize you without the Phoenix get up on.
I guess not.
How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
It's been a while.
I know.
I think before COVID, maybe.
It's been a couple years.
Yeah. This is Jess.
Hi.
She was a Phoenix lady.
What's up,
Invicta.
Jess?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
How's it going?
Good. I
Yeah?
just wanted to say hi.
Well, thanks for coming
give you a
over.
hug?
Just got to identify the
Let's give it
fighters.
a go.
All right, let's do this. Go over here. I made this really hard for myself to press all the buttons in the right way. All right, let's go over here. And you said you wanted this one. All right, here we go. We were looking for the answer earlier. Can you tell who these women are?
Ooh. Is that Holly Holm?
What?
No, hold on.
It's the first ever women's matchup in UFC history.
You asked for the women.
I did. I asked for
To be
women.
fair, it's like a loose representation of what these women actually look like. It's not very good.
I can see
Very
it. I can see
Pixar-y.
the animation.
I mean, I think that does look more like Holly Holm on the left-hand side,
I th-
more than a former.
Right, like I was trying to tell
Olympian.
who's who.
is there...
If you were to say the woman's name on the left-hand side of the picture, you would also be saying the first word in tonight's venue, Honda. Like in Portuguese, Brazil, Honda. Ronda.
Rhonda?
There you
Okay,
go.
we got one.
Ronda Rousey?
There you go. And
Liz Carmouche?
Good job. You win. Nicely done.
That doesn't look like Liz.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
There's an animated version. Okay,
You should have put Uriah on there.
That would have been a good one. You should go into writing our trivia questions because clearly you can do better than me. So.
No, I'm not.
We'll give you another nickname. We'll give you another nickname.
Okay.
Okay. Alexander Volkanovski, fighter nickname. This is an easy one.
I give you a hint.
This is an easy one.
It's like Frosted Flakes. They're
Great.
good job.
You win.
Well, thank you. Who's next?
We could not host Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. We had
No,
everybody will win
absolutely
millions.
not.
I'd be broke.
They'd be like, no, we'll give you one more lifeline. Jess, it's nice to see you.
Great to see you. Can I give you a hug?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Sounds like me coming up to the set looking for a hug out of
Nice to
TJ
see you.
DeSantis. Everybody wants a hug from TJ DeSantis. That could be a prize. A hug from TJ DeSantis.
I'm really good at giving out hugs.
All right, we got another hungry gentleman. Oh, he's wearing the Belal Muhammad Championship fight gear.
Hey,
nice.
let's
I
go,
like it.
bro.
I like it.
All right.
What's up, buddy? What's your name?
Ness, what's your name?
Nice to meet you, Jason.
Nice to meet you, brother.
You too.
Nice to meet you,
Hello.
bro.
Oh, you know his name? You know his name?
Yeah, I got an idea. I remember it.
So give me a level of your MMA fandom. Like, are you pretty hardcore?
I'd say I'm solid in the middle there, but we'll see what the screen does.
If I asked you a question about 2006 UFC, would you be able to answer it?
Let's give it a try. Yeah.
All right. Let's pull up the faces, go over here. All right, this gentleman was victorious in the, well, not this one. This gentleman was victorious in the first ever fight to headline this building for the UFC. He walked out the heavyweight champion after beating Andrei Arlovsky. Please name this man.
Come on, bro.
Oh, that's tough.
It's an easy one.
It's easy. It's not Dan Henderson?
Nope.
No, definitely not.
He does kind of have the Dan
It looks like
chin.
him with the chin, but
He's like 100 pounds heavier than
Yeah.
Anderson. The Maniac.
His first name has 3 letters.
I'll give you his first or last name, and then
Dan
you got
Severn?
no.
No.
I'll give you his first or last name, and you gotta complete it. You ready?
Okay.
What do you want? The first or last name? I'd go with the last
All
name.
right, we'll go last.
Sylvia. Man, I went way too hard.
I tell you, TJ loves this old school MMA.
Killing me.
It's all I remember, unfortunately.
Hey, we got all these young fans.
It rhymes with Jim, but begins with T.
Tim Sylvia.
Good job!
Oh, God.
You win, bro.
I got cold up here. I got cold.
Exactly. All right,
I
perfect.
appreciate you.
We'll give you a nickname as well. You're here for the fights, right? So
Yeah,
you obviously have to know the
let's
fighters
hear
on the
it.
card. Robert Whitaker, what's his nickname? Fighter nickname.
The Reaper.
There we go. Let's go. All right. Congratulations. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
Thank you, bro.
Have a good one.
All right,
I only got one more.
I got a question for you guys.
All right.
Prior to losing to Aljamain Sterling, who was the last UFC fighter Henry Cejudo lost to?
Demetrius Johnson.
Where's your button? Really? I know.
I
That's
did
what
so
Big Ron
confidently.
said.
Prior to losing to Aljamain Sterling? Say it one more time.
Oh, I know who it is. Benavidez.
Split decision loss to Joe Benavidez.
Good job.
Damn.
Shout
I
out Big
like
Joe,
that one.
right? Isn't that
Yeah.
crazy? I like that one.
Give me another one.
Ooh, put me on the spot. What else do I got for you? Let me see what I got.
Bilal, how hardcore of an MMA fan are you?
I'm pretty hardcore.
Well,
Okay.
well no, Bilal will know all of it, but like Maraba's one finish. Who'd he finish?
See, I'm
Oh,
not good at that,
Moraes.
sir. So I was going to ask you this. UFC 59 was the first UFC card in California. UFC 60 was its second UFC card in California, up the road at the Staples Center. Who was in the main event?
Ooh, I don't know that one.
It's a welterweight fight.
UFC 60?
Yep.
What?
UFC 1 veteran returned to take on the modern-day welterweight champion.
Lawler and
This is TJ. This is a long. I mean, was he born? I mean, it's
Was he
late
alive in
90s?
2006?
Yeah. Well, he's 13. He's
That
a little
means-
guy.
You said welterweights?
Welterweight. The greatest
Matt
welterweight.
Hughes?
Yep. And who fought in UFC 1? And came back in the UFC?
Trig?
No. I'm so old. This is bad. I know ancient stuff is like common knowledge. It's bad. Let's see here. I got a picture of him right there.
Oh, really?
Who is it?
Renzo Gracie?
Nope, Hoist Gracie.
Hoist Gracie.
Close enough.
And I did it.
You can have your own autograph.
Oh, hey. All right, I get something.
You guys want more people or what?
Let's do one
Yeah,
more.
we'll get a couple more.
Whoa, more. What's up, brother? How you doing? You gotta put these on. I can't hear you. What'd you say, bro?
Hello.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, and yourself?
What's your name?
Nathan.
Nathan?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, bro.
Nice to meet you too.
So, how good are you at trivia?
I've never done UFC trivia before, so I think I'm gonna do pretty good, bro.
There you go. That was confident.
All right.
How old
I
are
don't
you?
think this is too hard.
Huh?
Oh, okay, maybe it's too hard.
19? Okay, he's 19.
You can help him, Belal. You ready?
Okay.
All right. The UFC is the sport of mixed martial arts. That's the acronym of MMA. Before it was MMA, it was NHB. What does the NHB stand for?
Nice. Can I guess?
Sure.
No. NHB?
Yeah.
Not no holds bar. Nothing like that.
I did it, and I did it.
Oh, you
Good
got
job.
it.
No
Wow,
hard.
Shot.
Good job.
Well, you knew you weren't going to ask me about some fighter from the late 90s because I got nothing.
No. I mean, I bet you I could come up with one that you could get from the late 90s. I could try.
How good are you with the fighters on his card tonight?
What was it?
How good are you with the fighters on his card tonight?
I know all of them about.
Oh, you know
Or
all
about
okay,
all
that
of
was
them.
confidence.
All on the main card at least.
Okay. So we're going to ask you a fighter nickname.
Okay.
Paulo Costa's nickname.
Paulo Costa.
Harder than you think, right?
Yeah.
Secret juice.
Yeah, I know he does all the stuff with the secret juice. His nickname was. It starts with a B, right? Isn't it like?
He's going to go for the harder one.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
got away
version
from.
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we're not looking for Borrachino, or if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, I was gonna about to say that.
I like that one.
It's the eraser.
The eraser?
Yeah.
I remember.
Big
Yeah.
trash, right? All right, we'll give you another one. Ian Gary.
Ian Gary.
Come on, Nate.
Come on, bro. You came up here confidently. You were ready. You were like, I'm about to kill this. I'm 19 years old.
Same nickname as Macy Barber.
Ian Gary. I don't know.
All right, I got one for you.
What is?
Bilal Muhammad.
Bilal, remember the name.
Oh, the only one that matters. He knows the only one that matters.
Let's go, bro. That's all that matters. Thank you, man. How you going, brother? I can start, brother. Soon.
Grab me that phone, boy.
Oh.
All right. How many more sweatshirts we got? You know, whole table.
I'm going to find some trivia for TJ.
This has got to be old.
But I feel like we could stump TJ with some nicknames. Some of these nicknames, man.
The problem is you say some nicknames, and there's going to be like one guy from 2002 that had the same nickname, and I'm going to say that guy, and you're going to say I'm wrong, but I'm actually right.
But if I were to say some random UFC event number, like UFC 171,
Nah,
you
it's out
can't
of the
do
window.
that.
40 through 60, yeah.
40 through 60, really? Wow.
We got one more for us. We got one more. Who do we got? All right, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay, we got maybe two more.
What's up, man? How you doing, brother?
How about that? Throw in the headset, brother. Good to meet you.
Thank you. Good to meet you.
Yo, he comes up to the set, he says,
Oh, wow.
Mr. Muhammad.
Mr.
See?
Muhammad, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Good to be here,
I'm not
gentlemen.
going to take it easy on you, though.
That's okay. That's fine. I wouldn't expect any less.
What's your name?
Josh.
Josh? Nice to
Yes,
meet
sir.
you, brother.
Yep.
All right. So, fighter nicknames we're talking about right now.
Okay.
Let's see how good you are.
Okay. I'm ready for it.
Anthony Hernandez.
Oh, man.
See, when they start doing that, that just tells me that they're not confident. Like, you're confident, you're chest up.
And I think you gave him an easy one.
Yeah.
Anthony Hernandez. Oh, God, man.
Do you like comedy?
I do like comedy,
Do you
yeah.
know Gabriel Iglesias?
I do know.
What's his
Is it the
nickname?
same nickname?
Uh-huh.
Okay, it's Fluffy.
There we go.
Fluffy, yeah, okay. Really? That's his nickname?
Best phone a friend ever.
I know.
I'm going to get you up.
There's nothing fluffy about him, though. I don't
Yeah,
understand.
yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
I don't
He said he
understand.
used to be big.
Oh,
He
okay,
used to be
wow.
like 250 pounds.
Oh, geez, wow.
Okay.
Wow, Fluffy, huh?
I'll give you one right now. Henry Cejudo.
Triple C.
There
Come on,
you go.
Triple C.
How about the
Come on.
Messenger?
The Messenger? Ooh.
That's what his first nickname was before the cringy.
What about, the King of Cringe? That's another one.
Yeah, that
right?
works too.
Yeah, there's two of them. We got several.
The Messenger, yeah. It's weird.
Jared Gordon.
Oh, God. Jared.
Does TJ need to give you another hint to give
I
him
don't know if I
Jared?
know this one.
Oh, come on, TJ.
My hard drive's full from like 2007.
Jared Gordon, he's a very good friend of Belal Muhammad.
Yeah, I don't
Is
know.
he, man, because he faced Patty. He's, it's not super, no, I don't know. Can I request a
Oh,
hint?
I know it now.
He's like a Marvel.
You're disappointing
Is it a
yourself.
Yeah, I
Marvel
am.
character? Or
With lightning
it
bolts?
just,
It's Jared Flash Gordon. There you go. Okay. Dang, I need to brush up on all my nicknames now. That's what I've learned.
you never know when you need this trivia.
Exactly.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate
it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So pick a number 40 through 60 real quick.
47.
47 UFC. It's on April 2nd, 2004. Chuck Liddell, Tito Ortiz. Mandalay Bay Event Center.
Bro, if you tell me UFC 295, I'm like,
I don't know that one. I was probably there with you guys. I don't remember it. My hard drive's full.
I get it.
5, 10, 10. Then we got to go. They're going to kick us out of here. All right, we got 10 minutes.
All right, so.
We done with trivia?
Come on.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Two more, then we'll start working our way through the door.
Yeah, you can ask me. I'll answer for him. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up, man? You guys are some of my idols, man. The Anik brothers. You guys are killing it.
Hey, so you said you had a question for my brother. Is it something that I have to answer on his behalf?
Oh no. I'm saying I asked him at the fan Q&A yesterday.
Perfect,
I was
perfect,
going. No.
What's your question name?
Michael Hernandez, MLHmedia.MMA on my socials. So if any California fight fans want to follow the fight game, let them know. And then Belal, when are you gonna hop on the show, man?
First, we got to check your trivia. We got to know if you even know anything about fighting.
All right. That's fair. Let's go.
I like it. All right, fighter nickname.
Fighter nickname.
All right, I'm going to tell you a fighter. You got to give me his nickname. It's easy as that. Fighting on this card. Mackenzie Dern.
Oh, this is a hard one. Dang.
Mackenzie Dern is a nickname?
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you her nickname.
Oh,
did you hear what he just said?
darn.
Oh no, I couldn't hear you.
He said it was a trick question.
Trick question. She don't got a nickname.
Yeah, I was gonna say she don't got it. I don't.
I wanted to see where your knowledge
No, I was
was,
gonna say
because
I don't think she got a
you had to
nickname.
say that you were gonna think of something. I wanted to see what you would have guessed, but
No. I was gonna say maybe something
All right,
with Brazil. I know she's a Brazilian.
I think I got one more question for him here, and then I can put it on the screen here if he doesn't mind. Let's go here. This former UFC tournament winner used to go by the nickname Hollywood. I'm finding him here. And he gave up that nickname for a different nickname, but he's more famous for dropping the H-bomb. Who's that man?
Dan Henderson, baby, come on, man. Local over there.
There you go.
He's over in the California area as well, so I follow him. Temecula, yes, over in wine country.
I just saw him training the other day. He was posting it saying he's getting that itch back.
He said he wants to come back. I think he could do it. Boxing? He gets celebrity boxing?
Here's the problem. When he won a Strikeforce title, the man could barely walk. But he went out there and knocked out Fei Zhao in like 3 minutes. And like that's what he was. Like he was this dude who like literally couldn't even turn his neck, but he throws the right hand, ends your night.
Even Michael Bisping. I mean, that Michael Bisping fight was absolutely. He had him wobbled a couple of times there, and I was just shocked because I mean I know Dan Hendo is going into that fight even with some injuries. Kind of mentioned it in the embedded as well. So very interesting to see if he would come back in the 2024 calendar year.
There's no way he'll come back. No.
Yeah. Hey, you never know, man. Crazier things have happened. Crazier things have happened in this world, so you never know.
All right, well, let's ask you one more trivia question. Nickname, Andrea Lee.
Nickname.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a great nickname.
Not so tough. That's good.
Cowgirl?
That's a good guess.
Cowgirl?
Can I tell you how she got this nickname and then you can guess?
Yeah.
All right, she got this nickname because everyone thought that she was right out of Central Casting for an undercover Russian spy.
Ooh, man. Golly,
That's a terrible guess. I mean, that's a terrible hit.
Okay, it's the Russian CIA. It's the Russia's version of the CIA.
Oh, KJB.
There you go.
There you go,
KJB.
finally.
Yeah.
Okay. Good stuff, man.
Hey, Belal. I just gotta say, man, UFC 300 main event. Are we gonna be seeing you out there?
You gotta holler at Dana. Get him on your show, bro.
Tell Dana, man. Hey, you got the connection with Dana, man. Let him know, Jason.
How do you know I got the connection with Dana? Hey, but hopefully you'll get my boy on your podcast.
Yeah, hey, you too, man. I'd love to have any of you guys on. You guys are all killers in your own art. Belal, obviously, in the fight game. You in the commentary. I look up to you. I've done commentary for A1 Combat as well. Shout out to Tom Anderson.
Good
and
for
his
you.
crew doing over there. So looking very much forward to what you continue to do, man. Thank you for all you guys'
Can
time.
I ask you a question? Do you know my name?
I do not, but I'd love to get the pleasure of meeting you.
I'm TJ.
Hey, that's
nice
okay.
to meet you.
He's TJ DeSantis, but we had a very attractive woman want a big hug from him coming up in the
True.
set. So you're good. You're good. You're good.
I'm pretty sure you're getting way more attractive women to hug you than I'm ever getting. So, you know, TJ, you're killing the game, man. TJ, keep on killing it, man. And
Flattery will get you very far. So thank you very much, sir.
I appreciate you guys' time, man. I think they want me off right now, so I really appreciate you guys. I'd love to get a picture with you after.
Nice to meet you, man.
Of course.
Take care.
So fight's starting soon, huh?
I think so. 3:30 is the first fight. It's 12 minutes away. It is the aforementioned Andrea K, Jimmy Lee, and Miranda Maverick.
Good.
Look at that authentic UFC fight kit.
I know. I earned it myself.
Who's on the back of it? Who's
Oh, no, it's just.
Oh, just blank.
Yeah, my name should go on it, though. Yeah.
What's your name? Are you a fight fan?
Yeah. Kind of like a newer fan, like COVID, you know, like UFC was like the only thing going on like all the time. So
Okay, so who are you here to watch? What team are you on? Taporia, Volkanovski?
I'm definitely Volkanovski. Like I believe in him through and through. He's got this. Then I'm gonna say Whitaker. I'm gonna say Marab.
Okay.
I got Ian Gary. And yeah, that's.
You didn't say none of the women. Come on.
Well, I'm thinking of main card. I know I'm thinking about main card though. Yeah, I got Amanda Lemos though. Yeah, I'll say that.
Okay, well, fighter nickname on the undercard, Miranda Maverick.
Oh no, man.
What do you mean?
I don't know that one.
Miranda Maverick?
It's a weird one too.
It's a good one though.
See, I want to say like the horse because of a Maverick.
You're close.
Oh, really?
Kinda.
The stallion.
No.
Oh.
It just plays off her last name. It's Fear the, believe it or not. Fear the Maverick.
Fear the Maverick.
It's hard.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'll give you an easy one. Main eventing, first week of April, Brendan Allen.
Oh. I don't.
I'm doing this. Are you playing poker?
I'll give you a hint. The nickname is the same as his last name, except one letter's different.
Al.
You're at the poker table and I'm doing this.
Oh my God, I'm sweating.
How are you choking right now?
I know, like real hard, man.
I raise you, but you're gonna go.
I don't play poker. Oh wait, is this in reference to actual poker?
Yeah.
Oh, I totally went over my head. I've never played poker in my life. Call?
Bud.
No.
You want to phone a friend?
Yeah. Well, he said call though, which that doesn't.
Call? You think his name is Brendan Call?
Wait, Alan. Alan.
Oh, we'll give it to her. All in. Yes.
All in. Oh.
You want me to really make you sweat?
I'm already sweating, but yeah, let's go.
What's Belal Muhammad's name?
Oh, remember the name. Yeah. I will never forget that. Yeah, no, I got that. We're good. That one, 10 out of 10 every time, man.
Everybody knows that.
I will never forget that name.
You're the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Man, what a productive day it's been.
Enjoy
I
the
like
fights.
this. I really enjoyed
Sun's
this.
out now.
Took my shirt off in public for the first time in 20 years.
Good thing that was a couple hours ago.
I know.
Getting a little chilly.
It's cold.
You know?
It's very cold.
All right, though.
I lost a $40 polo shirt when I threw that thing out to the crowd.
Did you really?
Game worn.
I hope we got. I don't know where I was, but I missed that polo toss.
Oh man,
Yeah.
it's the only one I'll ever have. When in Rome, you got to go for it. You got to go
We
big
gotta
or
go
go
find
home.
it. We're gonna walk inside. We're gonna see somebody wearing it. What if it's like Bruce Buffer announcing the fights with it on? You're like, Bruce had it this whole time?
That'd be real strange. That'd be real strange. 5 minutes. 5 minutes till we get kicked out of here.
So, are you able to pull up that main card real quick? Because
Absolutely.
our last guest liked all the favorites, right? I know you're leaning Jeff Neal. Any other underdogs on this main card that grab you, Belal Muhammad? You can pick Topuria, Costa. Well, Costa, you said Costa too, right?
I like Costa, yeah. I mean,
what about Kopolov?
I like Kopolov, but Hernandez is a dog, man. He can take a beating and keep walking through it, and he always figures out a way to win. And I don't think Kopolov fought the level of competition as Hernandez, because Hernandez has been in there with some monsters, and a lot of his wins, like Rodolfo Vieira, like last week he looked like a killer, and you remember that Hernandez got a win over him with the arm triangle. And it just tells you how good he really is. He also has a win over Brendan Allen in LFA. So I think that Hernandez is one of those guys, the beast. Kopolov, if he doesn't land that big shot early, I think it'll be a long night for him.
I'm excited for that one. Both guys won 4 straight. Something's got to give. And Kopolov, obviously, Hernandez ranked 15th. Always nice when you can potentially get a number by your name with a dub.
I'm looking at this card, and it's either the greatest or worst card to ever try to make a parlay on just the main card. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's parlay busters in every single fight.
Literally, yeah. I'm looking at it like, and even with every single fight, nothing's guaranteed. There's not like one fighter I'm looking at it like, oh man, he's gonna walk through him or he's gonna do this. Like,
well, and the whole world was anointing Joe Pyfer, and you see what happens with experience and skills and determination. So Jack was game. I can't wait for tonight though, man.
Yeah, I think there's gonna be some big moments tonight, and I think some people are gonna get a bigger name or they're gonna have to eat crow, but we'll find out.
Do old people eat crow? Is Volkanovski? No, they just complain about crows, right? Volkanovski looks like that Disney character from the movie Up. The house. I love it. Yeah.
He should play that character in Halloween.
Yeah, I mean, he could. If they ever do like a live action Up, Volkanovski's my guy.
With all your little Disney cartoons, that would have been perfect.
I mean, honestly, it looks too much like myself in my real life situation, so I don't want to bring that one up.
I'm glad you put that picture of me only up there for a second. I look pretty big.
That's the old. Well, I mean, that's the old.
No, right, exactly.
Yeah, the animated man bun. It was good.
Man, so where are you sitting tonight? Where does John put you up at these things?
Well, I don't know. My brother's already in the building, so I'm going to have to find a way to navigate myself down there, but I'll figure it out.
I love you being here because it's inevitable someone's going to say, hey, John, and I like the idea that someone thinks we're such a big deal that John Annick's going to come here 20 minutes before the first prelim and just hang out with us, so thank you.
Whatever works.
Absolutely. So, we got to do this again, right? Miami?
Absolutely.
I mean,
well,
I don't know what
unless
he's
we
doing.
get an announcement tonight that this guy's training or fighting.
Hopefully we'll find something soon. If not, I'll be on the beach. We'll get some sun over there.
How much are you training when you don't have a fight day?
I literally sparred earlier today with Jamal Hill inside the hotel, so it was fun.
Jamal Hill?
Yeah, the big 205 champion, something like that. It hurt a little bit. It wasn't fun.
Fighters are crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But whenever you're on the road, it's always good, right? Because you get to train with new guys, get new looks, and Jamal's a great training partner. It wasn't like Sean Strickland or somebody doing something stupid, so it was a fun time.
There you go. All right. That's it for us. What a productive day here at the UFC Fan Experience. Appreciate everyone for coming out. And, man, the stage is set. UFC 298 just around the corner. It's starting 5 minutes right now. Prelims available for you. And it all leads into a great main card. Again, Alexander Volkanovski defending his featherweight crown in the main event against Ilia Topuria. And that does it for us. For Jason Anik, Belal Muhammad, I'm TJ DeSantis. Thanks so much for joining us here live from Southern California. It's been extra rounds right here on UFC Fight Pass. So long.
Round